High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown.
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie.
And folks, we have history at Haltom. Danny Bustamante has just pitched a no-hit, no-run, no-walk shutout. A perfect game for Danny Bustamante.
Rios looks at Alvarado and turns home. It's going to that left field gap. That's a base hit. Here comes Axel Alvarado. The Colts are going to take the lead in the top of the 7th on the base hit by Gannon Howard. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go. Fatomeco with the pass. Narario has a bit of a look, shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions, Energetic Media Solutions.
The oldest series in the city of Arlington gets renewed tonight at Choctaw Stadium, and the Zap Network is here to bring you all the action. Good evening, everyone. This is the pregame show presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. I'm Zach Arnold, joined by an Arlington local legend. We talk about local legends, figures. We need one for this guy over here. John Nelson's on the call with me tonight. John, it's so great to have you.
You're too kind.
It's a great rivalry, a great history between these two teams. Even if one of them may be having a down season, there's still a lot of energy about this particular series because of how far back these two teams have played.
There really is, Zach. I mean, Sam Houston's still in search, trying to find themselves offensively and defensively. They give up a whopping 40 points a game, coming off a huge loss. You mentioned the series. This is the 59th, and the Colts have won 41 of the previous 48, but it wasn't that long ago that Sam Houston knocked off Arlington High for a playoff spot.
It was. That was a 33-30 final on a very controversial couple of final plays. I remember us being on the radio call for that game over at Wildman Field. A roughing the passer combined with an unsportsmanlike gave Sam Houston 30 yards of field position with about 2 seconds on the clock, and they kicked a game-winning field goal to knock off Arlington. But since then, it's been all Colts. Arlington got a last-second field goal in 2021 and then shut them out back-to-back years, 34-0, 52-0, and then a 38-10 final a season ago. So things are in Arlington's favor, but, you know, it's Friday night. Anything can happen.
You know, you look at the numbers favor Arlington High, and I would imagine Scott Peach would not deviate much from the offensive plan. Perhaps a steady diet of Jamar Burton, Max Revere, Coleman Cravens running, not changing things up too much. They've had a good week of practice. It's been an off week, and they're rested and ready.
They're fresh off of a bye week and fresh off of a very tough loss against a very good South Grand Prairie team who just absolutely dominated Lamar last evening. I believe the final score was 59-0. And so after taking care of business at home against Arlington 2 weeks ago, taking care of business against Lamar last night, South kind of looks like the front runner in District 8-6A so far.
Yeah, things got a little more clearer after last night. You did the Bowie-Martin game. That kind of evened things out. Mm-hmm. South Grand Prairie is loaded. You mentioned they lathered up Lamar. And if things don't change much, you look at that last week, we were talking earlier today, that last game with Arlington and Martin could decide fourth place. They could play a spoiler, and then you got the Bowie game next week, which is huge.
Yeah, there's still a lot of very, very important games left in this second half of the district season, but it all starts tonight here at Choctaw Stadium. It's pink out night. The cheer squad has made the traditional letter A at midfield here. Fans are still filing into this stadium that has a capacity of over 43,000. Probably only going to get a fraction of a percentage of that here tonight. But the enthusiasm for Pink Out Night is nonetheless very important to both of these schools.
Yeah, it really is. Each school has a theme throughout the year, a homecoming theme, a senior theme, senior night. And the Pink Out Night has become kind of a staple for all teams.
Yeah, it's October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and pretty much every team either has one or will join in with another school. I saw some Martin players that had some pink tape during last evening's ball game against Bowie. So it's one of those things where it's so easy to spread the awareness. That's very important, but also provide a little bit of flair for some young men who probably don't usually have pink in their wardrobe.
Yeah, I would imagine half of them do not.
Probably. Coleman Cravens, as you mentioned, going to be orchestrating the Arlington offense. He's throwing just under 50% at 49 on the season. He threw a couple of interceptions against South Grand Prairie that has made his touchdown to interception ratio about even. But you mentioned Max Revere, you mentioned Jamar Burton. Both of them have had games with over 100 yards rushing when they combine with Coleman Cravens. They can go for 3, 4, 5 touchdowns on the ground. So it'll be part of that zone read that Coach Peach loves to do to see whose legs are going to win out on the field for Arlington's offense tonight.
You know, and until that fourth quarter last night, or 2 weeks ago against South Grand Prairie, the Colts were very much in that game. The 3 interceptions couldn't have come at a worse time that Coleman Cravens served up.
Right. They gave up 466 rush yards, and Carmelo Stokes is both the leading passer and the leading rusher for Sam Houston here tonight. If Arlington wants to take care of business, they're going to have to contain Stokes and what he's able to do as an athlete on the other side of the ball.
You know, given his range, he hasn't done a bad job, but Arlington has a depth. You know, they've got more of it.
One thing that was observed during last week's game between Bowie and Sam Houston here on the Zap Network was that a lot of Sam Houston's athletes will play on both sides of the ball. You'll have a wide receiver that goes over and plays defensive back. You'll have a something in the Bowie lineup. Their starting linebacker is also their punter. And so when you have athletes, you need to put them where they can be of the most good, and sometimes that can affect your stamina, which seems to be the thing that is plaguing Sam Houston the most.
Yeah, it's just the scoring. If they could ever get out to a lead, they come in only averaging 14 points a game, but they have had a lead in a couple of games earlier this year just to see it disappear. That's because of the defense. They give up almost 40 points a game.
Stokes was the leading passer with a touchdown to Dan Santillan in last week's game. There were 3 players that combined for over 100 rushing yards, which is about how many rushing yards Arlington had last week. So it could be a ground game and see which one gets established. It could be, do we see players like Kason Brown step up for Arlington? He's the team's leading receiver, got 13 catches, averages 12 yards per catch. If Arlington elects to try to air it out past that beleaguered defense in the second half, could that be the thing that helps Arlington pull away?
Well, it could, and also the 2 Moores. You have Alex and Christian Moore that have become very much a big part of this offense.
In that district race, it's just South Grand Prairie and Bowie that are undefeated. But aside from the Sam Houston Texans and the Grand Prairie Gophers, every team in this district has at least one win coming into just this 3rd week of district. I think that shows a lot about the parity, and it shows a lot about the competitive nature of 8-6A, as this game means that Arlington needs just 2 more after this to make it to the postseason.
This is week 6 of the 2025 high school football season. Even after the loss to South Grand Prairie, Coach Peach said, well, 1-1's better than 0-2 at this stage of the season.
It is, for sure. A reminder, fans, that the pregame show is presented by our friends at Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. They are a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have been serving the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346 or go to chapman-cornelius.com. That'll conclude the majority of the pregame show that we've got here. The alma maters have been completed, and we'll go ahead and take it over to the primary camera here, operated by our friend Daniel. And John, we got to try out a multi-camera feature with some of our help that we had last night. Got to see some of the Bowie Volunteers celebrating some of their big plays down on the sidelines, something that we're hoping to continue to integrate in our broadcast as we move forward.
Yeah, you had some lower shots in the end zone, kind of an angle looking across. It was pretty good.
It was fun to experiment. Our transmitter did not cooperate quite the way that we wanted to, but our producer Jason Holly, our cameraman Cam Wilcox, they all did a really solid job in getting things underway for us, and the captains have made their way out to midfield, as you see here. We're still waiting on the Sam Houston Texans to come out of the visitors' locker room here at Choctaw Stadium, but we are getting ever closer to kickoff here in Arlington. Donna Nipper tuning in on the YouTube chat. Pop's also joining, as he's going to be spotting and co-producing with us on this evening's broadcast. Tuning in from Biloxi, Mississippi, as always. Donna, I'm curious, have you all made it out to Pascagoula yet to go see my friend and his barbecue restaurant? John, to this day, there's a little restaurant that a friend of mine co-runs with his family that makes the best barbecue ribs I have ever had.
What about the gumbo?
The gumbo is pretty good too, but they specialize in ribs and pulled pork sandwiches. So if you're ever interested in some of the best pork of your life, it's in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And that's not even a sponsor. That's just me taking care of a friend of mine named Ben Hart. He runs the IPC podcast with me. We do movie reviews when I'm not doing football games, but we're excited to be doing Friday Night Lights with you nonetheless.
Well, the Texans opened up the season on August 29th. Their only win came in Irving. They beat the Nimitz Vikings 28-14, but since then losses to Burleson Centennial, Irving, MacArthur, South Grand Prairie, and the Bowie Volunteers. They come in averaging 14 points a game, close to 290 total yards per game, but Zach, they allow close to 400 yards a contest. Arlington High averaging about 325 per game, and they give up about 380. So the defenses really need to stop somebody. Beginning tonight in the heart of the district race, Arlington 1-0 or 1-1, and the Sam Houston Texans at 0-2, 1-4 overall.
We actually had the broadcast for that homecoming game for the Sam Houston Texans. We try to cover Big Sam as often as we can. Jason Holly was on the call for that game. It was a back-and-forth affair that just happened to go MacArthur's way in the final quarter and a half, a 40-28 final score. But it's interesting to note that Sam Houston collected 2 wins last year for the first time in several years, a win against Grand Prairie and a win against Nimitz. They've beaten Nimitz back-to-back years. So even though there is marginal momentum in Chris James's 4th season at the helm of the Texans, there is still elements to look forward to. Head referee signaled that Arlington won the toss and has elected to defer to the second half. So we'll be seeing Carmelo Stokes and the Sam Houston offense to start tonight's ball game.
83 degrees at kickoff. Wind is negligible, not much at all to be concerned. Sam Houston in their white jerseys with Big Sam across the front, red pants, the Colts, and green pants, kind of a dark green pants. Their traditional green helmets and the green jerseys with the white numbers across the front.
The weather is sponsored by our friends at CNLC in support of Colt football. First here, best here. Kick 'em Colts. Fans, be sure to copy the link and send it to your group chats, post it on social media. Let the folks at home know that we're about to have national anthem. And then it is football time in Texas. John will have the play-by-play for tonight's ball game. I'll be color this evening. I had plenty of opportunity to call a lot of offense last night in that 56-43 final score, so I'm ready to rest my voice just a little bit tonight, John.
Almost 100 total points combined last night.
We'll see how much firepower Arlington has in their arsenal for tonight's ball game, but it'll be the defense that heads out first.
It's good to see that Sam Houston still has the bell guards. Kind of a different look helmet-wise. You've seen them twice this year, Zach. They have Texans across the side as they take a knee in the south end zone.
That's a blue Texans script, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was unveiled, I want to say, either last season or the season before that as one of their alternate options. It's a pretty sharp look. Colts have taken the field. We're getting lined up for the national anthem. We'll turn up our ambient mic so that you all can hear the pride of Arlington High, Honor America. And then after that, it is football time in Texas. Thanks so much for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Alongside John Nelson, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you Texas high school football on the Zap Network.
Thank you, and would you please remain standing for the national anthem played by the Colt Band.
Welcome into Choctaw Stadium, everybody. The Arlington Colts coming off of the bye week, as are the Sam Houston Texans. Arlington looking for their second district win. They've won 4 out of the last 5 against the Texans, including the last 4. Hoping to make it 5 in a row tonight as we get ever closer to those critical games that mean the most for playoff opportunities, John. The Colts still have some pretty important games, including a rivalry at Martin in their new Glaspie Stadium to close out the season.
Yeah, they got Lamar on the 24th. They've got Grand Prairie on Halloween night, and they close the regular season at Martin. on November the 6th.
Giorgio Harris back deep to return on the far side for Sam Houston. To his near side is Chauncey Price. Pierce Ling getting ready to send it away for Friday Night Lights in Arlington, Texas.
All right, Pierce Ling will hit it, and we are underway as the Texans move left to right. It is caught by Pierce. He's coming left 10, crosses the 15, and is belted out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So the Sam Houston Texans come in averaging 14 points a game. As Zach said, the quarterback is Carmelo Stokes with a 55% completion rate. Keep an eye on Jermaine Bingham. Also Chauncey Price. Tavarian Bell as well in the backfield. Officially spotted at the 16. Colts defensively allow 23 a game. And the Texans will deploy twin receivers to the left. And the man in motion is Price, and hold everything. May have jumped a little early.
Or a delay of game.
May have taken too long. That play clock was down to 1. And it is a costly 5-yard march off against Sam Houston. It sets up 1st and 15. Inserted in the backfield is Chimela Uwalakala Ukina, sophomore, one of 8 for head coach Chris James this year. So at the 11, 1st and 15. Crisscross handoff. 15, and hit hard and pumped to the turf. Nice downfield tackle by Luis Mendoza of the Arlington Colts.
It's a name we'll call early and we'll call often. Mendoza, the heart of that front 7 of the Arlington defense, has a couple of interceptions, including a pick 6 in week 1. You'll see him flying all over the field in coverage and in the backfield.
Number 7 running the show, Carmelo Stokes. Man in motion. Here's Stokes. He will keep it. And slides to about the 18.
Troy McDaniel in on the stop there for Arlington, and it'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 9.
The line to gain is the 26. Colts in a 4-3-4 defensive alignment. And again, Sam with a squadron wide left. They got 3 to the left and 1 to the right. Empty backfield for Carmelo Stokes. Again, a man in motion. Stokes drops back at his 9, floats one over the middle, and a little bit too tall at the 30-yard line. The intended receiver, number 1, Chauncey Price, sent a marker down.
Indication is a personal foul called against Arlington. They may have hit Stokes a little bit too late after he let go of it, and that will give Sam Houston a 1st down.
Yeah, Zach, as soon as he let it fly, I didn't think he took that hard of a shot, but it'll cost Arlington 15 yards and the first down of the game. Just underway at Choctaw Stadium. Glad you're with us. We've just broken the seal on this one, week 6. At the 32, that's where the Texans operate. And against Stokes with an empty backfield. Receiver wide right is Giorgio Harris. Harris down the right side, another pass crossing pattern, and intended at midfield. The kind of short hopped it to number 9, Jermaine Bingham. Bingham, a junior, one of 18 on the varsity roster.
8 catches for 117 yards on the season, according to the stats that we've been able to obtain. Some of Sam Houston's stats are a little incomplete depending on if things are updated on Max Preps, if things are updated on Dallas Morning News, but he is one of the primary targets of the season.
2nd and a dime from the 32. Now 4 receivers. Now break it off at 3 in a man of motion. Stokes will keep it and a punishing 1-yard run.
McDaniel in there on the stop along with number 44, Hayden Bostic. They'll combine to stop him for just a carry of 1.
3rd and 9. Sideline left. And again, those 3 receivers kind of anchored there for the first 6 plays of the game.
Sam Houston likes to move that near slot into motion as a lead blocker. We'll see if he comes in motion again here.
It's kind of a spread bone offense this year. Stokes looking, surveys the secondary, floats one down the left side, and overshoots his receiver at the 40. And it'll be 4th down and punt time for Sam Houston as the Colts have held on Sam's first series.
Yeah, they like to do those misdirection plays where you pump fake to the curl route and then have one more player on the go. That player going was Jermaine Bingham, but just couldn't quite connect. They had several touchdowns of that nature against MacArthur when we did their homecoming broadcast.
Max Sane in punt formation. Max Revere is back for Arlington. This hits at the 41. Revere picks it up and is surrounded and dropped at about the 32.
That's where Arlington's offense will start 1st and 10 after a quick break here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. Time to see what Coleman Cravens and Company can do on their first drive, John.
At the 33, Coleman Cravens, a senior with a 49% completion rate. In the backfield, Max Revere. Max, a senior, 319 total yards of rushing this year. Twin receivers on either side. Open field to the right. Here's Coleman Cravens and the handoff on the sweep. 35, 40, first down 45, and close to midfield to the 48-yard line.
Jackson Nelson on the jet sweep carry to give Arlington a fresh set of downs and get it near midfield.
Jackson, a junior at 5'9" and 150. Officially spotted at the 47.
One play, 1 first down. That's pretty efficient start.
They'll take it every time. Alex Moore wide right. We're on the 47, 1st and 10, handoff up the middle, crossing midfield, and gang tackle at the Sam Houston 45-yard line. Max Revere on the gain. Took the opening kickoff 100 yards 2 weeks ago to start the game at the Gopher Warrior Bowl.
That was a great tone setter. Gave Arlington a lot of momentum in that first half.
Jackson Nelson, the inside receiver to the right. To his outside, Alex Moore. As Revere stays in the backfield. 2nd down and about 4. Cravens swing pass right side, caught. Revere 40 down the far side, 35, 30, marker down at about the 35.
That's always a danger when you've got players that you can hit on the outside, John. They may be able to get that corner, but you have to maintain your fundamentals and don't commit a hold as they're hitting that outside corner.
No question, Revere has been a triple threat this year. A return man, a receiver, a running back, and the penalty yardage stepped off against Arlington High. It'll place the ball at the 45.
Mark Birch tuning in the YouTube chat, class of 1999. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mark.
2nd and 2. Ball right between the hash marks, just underway.
Just behind the feather of the Choctaw Sea at midfield.
And in motion is Cason Brown. Here's Coleman Cravens looking middle deep, has a receiver, caught, dropped at the 5.
In and out of the fingertips of Jamar Burton. He beat his defender and just could not quite look that pass in.
Going deep on 2nd and short.
With this type of field position, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Wide open, that middle was soft. And another play to pick up a first down. 3rd and 2. As Jamar Burton heads wide right with Alex Moore. This series started back in 1967. The 59th in the series. 3rd and 2. Cravens, here's a pitch to the left. First down yardage. And at the 41 and taking another shot, but getting the first down.
Big
is
hit.
Revere.
Big hit applied there by Jaden Skurlock for the Sam defense. They ran a toss to the left side with William Nelson checking in as an H-back tight end on that left-hand side. And that extra body, extra blocker was able to help move the chains for Arlington.
Spurlock was the leading tackler last year for Sam, had 93. 1st and 10 at the Texan 43. Closer, maybe perhaps to the 42. Burton now set wide right. Here's Cravens. Here's the reverse on the sweep outside. Kason Brown, 40, 35. Brown first down 30, and Brown to the 25.
A lot of misdirection on that play, and then Sam Houston had to communicate to try to catch up to him. It was the defensive lineman, Alex Opari, that finally tracked him down from behind, but not before Arlington moved the chains again.
All Brown needed was that first step, and he got it. Put it in overdrive and collects the first down at the 25. 7:02 in the opening stanza. The keeper, 20. Stiff arm to the 15 and smothered out of bounds as Kason Brown.
That was a direct snap, a little bit of the Wildcat formation we saw Isaiah Robertson run last year for Arlington. We'll see if they go back to that wide receiver direct snap formation again. The deeper into the season we go, the more wrinkles of the offense Coach Peach likes to reveal.
He has some plays he hasn't shown. From the 15, Revere, the setback to the right of Coleman Cravens, double checking the offensive line. They're set. There's a snap and the handoff to Revere. Revere over the right side as they continue to push Max to about the 11-yard line.
First man on the scene there for the Texans. A number 23 that I don't see on the roster.
And let's see, the updated roster, no, not sure either. May have brought up somebody from the JV.
Here we are.
Is it?
A freshman, Jordan
Yep.
Reason, defensive back, getting the call up tonight.
From the 11. Second and 7, and the chase is on, and they've got him drawn and quartered all the way back to the 20. Texans were ready for that outside run.
Gotta love the effort by the sophomore D lineman Marcos Lopez. Got around the ankles of Jamar Burton and stopped his forward progress long enough for a couple of other teammates to rally around and stop him for a loss.
So Lopez, the sophomore, the party crasher for the Texans on that play. Loss of 6, 3rd and 13. From the Sam Houston 17-yard line. Cravens looking left, throws, crossing pattern, tipped and caught at the goal line. It's a touchdown as Jamar Burton able to catch the deflection, and the Colts have struck first.
Cravens threw it into traffic. There were several players along the goal line there that were tracking the ball, and they're lucky it ended up in the hands of the homecoming king as Burton collects another touchdown grab.
Pierce Ling, a senior, out to try to tack on point number 7. The snap is a bit high, pulled down, and the extra point is perfect. And the Colts with 5:10 to go in the.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable?
We'll take a quick break and be back with more high school football on Zap presented by John Wade Roofing. right after this.
Are you a small business owner looking?
What's on program?
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Classic Chevy Drive Summary presented by our friends at Classic South. 8-play drive covering 67 yards, capped off by a 17-yard touchdown pass to Jamar Burton. The next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
All right, Pierceling has it teed up, that 67-yard opening drive. Always nice to get points on your first possession.
Pretty methodical drive as well, taking several minutes off of the game clock. 5:10 to go in this opening frame.
It's a hanger, and Latarius Wilburn gathers it into the 15, searching for an Avenue 25, draws a crowd, and is bumped out of bounds at about the 27.
Better field position than they had on their previous drive. We'll see if they can do anything with it.
Second series for Sam Houston. Again, the district records, the Arlington Colts at 1-1, the Texans at 0-2. Sam overall at 1-4, officially spotted at the 27. 1967, Zach, these teams first met at the old Memorial Stadium on the Arlington State College campus. Colts won that first contest 17-6. John Riddell and company. First and 10 from the 27. Again, they start now coming to a full stop as the left half and motion. It'll cost them 5.
They had less than 5 seconds on the play clock and just put too many men in motion trying to get the snap off.
Arlington, the home team tonight.
Yeah, with the renovations and the new opening of Glassby Stadium, there are the occasional home games that have to be played in different venues, although UTA is going to be heading back. Correction, Arlington heading back to UTA.
From the 22 and a loss of 1.5 yards.
Texans moving the wrong way to start this drive, John.
Down 7-0 and trying to hit a couple of receivers already tonight, but Stokes has been off target. Carmelo Stokes, a junior. He'll take the handoff, flush from the pocket, wide open at the 40, caught and
dropped.
As soon as he had it, it went away.
That's Wilborn, listed as a defensive end, playing the tight end spot, had some space up the seam and just not able to clutch the pigskin in his breadbasket.
Latarius Wilburn, a senior, had it and it wasn't secured. So it'll bring up 3rd and 15. A little more than 15, call it about
scoreboard says 16.
Yeah, closer to 16. 3rd and 16 from the 21. Low snap. Stokes picks it up, is harassed, running, and falls down at the 19. May have lost his footing, but he wasn't going anywhere, Zach.
Yeah, he was being corralled by a couple of Arlington defensive backs. Even if he had been able to get away from one, he wouldn't get away from both. And it is a 3-and-out for Sam Houston after a false start, putting them behind the sticks.
So Max Sane on to punt it away for the second time. Clock moving, 3:51 in the opening quarter. Colts on top, 7-0, trying to go 2-1 in district play. High snap, here comes a rush, and Sane able to unload. It's a end-over-end job, very, very high. Hits at the Sam Houston 47, goes sideways, and is downed at about the 47.
Arlington will have it in plus territory when we come back with high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Back to Choctaw Stadium, Arlington on their second possession have it in plus territory, John.
From the Sam 47, leading 7-0, and here comes the Arlington Colt offense back. Sam Houston with a three-man front. From the shotgun, here's a handoff and a nose dive to about the 43.
That
Gain
is
of 4 yards.
That is Revere on the carry. He's been averaging about 8 yards per carry, but 2 weeks ago, he only averaged closer to 3 against a very tough SGP run defense.
Cannon Cameron, sophomore, number 24, has come on as a receiver. Empty backfield. Cravens throws. It is caught at the 40 and the 39, trying to get to the 37.
Alex Moore with the reception, very close to the line to gain, but it looks like it'll be about 3rd and short.
Alex Moore Jr. at 5'9", 165. Cason Brown will stay out there, getting the call from the bench, getting the play from the Arlington Brain Trust. 3rd and a yard as a scrimmage from the Texan 38. Burton in motion, and the handoff, and a side swipe to about the 35, but has enough for the first down.
Opari coming off of the defensive line and tracking him down. Very marginal pickup, but it was a very marginal line to gain.
Max Revere back in, and the sophomore comes out, Cameron.
When you have field position that's basically gifted to you like Arlington started this drive on, John, you have to capitalize.
Burton, Nelson, and Cason Brown wide left. 1st and 10 from the Texan 35. Cravens looking deep, throws to the corner, has a man one-on-one coverage and a little short.
Yeah, he underthrew a few targets a couple of weeks ago against South Grand Prairie, and a couple of times it resulted in interceptions. He's lucky that that one just fell harmlessly to the ground.
Texans were in bump coverage. It was intended for Cason Brown. So it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 35. Just under 2 minutes left here in the opening quarter.
My friends over at the Mask of Fear tuning in while enjoying the pretty weather up in Canada. Thank you, friends, for being a part of tonight's broadcast. Fans, join the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from.
From the 35, 2nd and 10, swing pass to Revere. Gathers it in, and Revere trying to get to the 30. And has about 5, but a marker drop back at the line of scrimmage.
Infraction is holding against the Colts. That'll back them back up to the 45-yard line, almost where this drive began.
Sam losing this game last year, the Colts, 38-10. 2 years ago was a stampede of 52-0 Arlington win. Yeah, this is a big one and places all the way back to the 45. So the line to gain is the 25.
Don't try to make it all up in one play.
They need 20 as Cravens and Revere not quite set. Play clock down to 5.
And they'll take a timeout.
Yep.
1:21 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout with them. This is High School Football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions. With locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield, solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting TaqueriaTacoExpress.com.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0393 or email orders@locallegendsfigures.com.
And welcome back to this Friday, October the 10th. Colts have it, leading 7-0. They face a 2nd and 20 at the Sam Houston 45. Sophomore back in, that's Cannon Cameron. And Revere, the setback behind Coleman Cravens. Receivers spread all over the place on 2nd and 20. Cravens takes a snap, drops back. Looking right side, floats it up, has a receiver, but shoots a man at about the 8-yard line. He was double covered. That was Jackson Nelson, the junior.
Interesting that on his previous deep pass for Cason Brown, he underthrew it, overcompensating a little bit by overthrowing Nelson on that pass in his 3rd and long.
Well played by Marquise Grace, a sophomore strong safety.
$1:15 to go in this opening stanza. A lot less offense than what was on display at the end of the first quarter last night's game.
Man in motion as Cravens looks, throws to the near side. It's caught and spun down at the 41, Jackson Nelson. A gain of about 4.
Quick on the tackle there was Raymond Cruz, number 12.
It'll bring up 3rd and 16.
No yards after the catch. A penalty against Arlington will be declined, and it'll be 4th and long from outside the 40.
4th and 16, and here comes number 43, Pierce Ling. Well, it started on now a man short. Ethan Alvarez is now on, so they've got their full complement of 11. Nobody back deep for Sam Houston. Nobody back. I thought Wilbur may drop back, number 0. He's at the 30. Clock down to 1.
I think they may have intentionally taken the delay of game in order to give them more field position to work with on this punt.
Yeah, it was down to 1, and they weren't going anywhere, and I'll scoot them back to the 46.
A little bit more room to work with for Pierce Ling in deep punt formation for the Colts.
And we'll see if Latarius Wilburn.
Still nobody very deep. Wonder if they were trying to anticipate a direct snap, which is something that Arlington has done before.
Yeah, let's see. They got an up man, and Ling will unload. Nobody back. End over end hits at the 16, inside the 10, and will be down inside the 5.
Great pursuit there by McDaniel to keep it from going into the end zone. And it'll be the worst starting field position for Sam Houston when we come back with high school football on Zap.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Texans pinned deep at their own 4. Down 7-0. Stokes, a yard deep in the end zone, takes a snap. He unloads, coming to the near side, one-on-one, and broken up, and a marker down. Has some interference at the 35. Pass intended for Giorgio Harris.
I really don't know what more the defender could have done. He literally put his hands up to show that he wasn't making contact with the receiver, but he must have brushed him, and that will take Sam Houston out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
Dermond Cunningham, the safety. So they go back to the line of scrimmage. A penalty-aided first down for Sam Houston. At the 19. Running play could be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see. 3 receivers to the near side. And Stokes looking right towards the middle, one-on-one, and overthrows his receiver at midfield. So he tried to go deep.
The junior, Dan Santillan, the intended target. Stokes has some pretty solid arm power. Santillan just couldn't quite catch up to it, about 2 yards in front of him.
He was one-on-one with Luis Mendoza, the junior.
And they like that matchup. You've got an athlete against an athlete, but Mendoza's listed as a linebacker, so it turns into speed versus speed in that scenario.
2nd and 10 from the 19. Inside handoff and going nowhere, surrounded by 3 Colts at the 16. That'll be the last play of the first quarter as we flip the field and the Arlington Colts on top 7-0.
We'll take a short break and be back with more high school football on Zap presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
And welcome back to the first play of the second quarter. Sam Houston at their own 17-yard line facing a 3rd and about 12. And here comes the Colt defense. Sam Houston next week. We'll have a date with Lamar. That game will be here. 3rd and 12 from the 17. Sam going right to left. Stokes. And ball may have been batted down, caught and dropped immediately at the 14. Loss of about 3 more.
Couple of Colts in there on the stop. Samaje Davis, the 6'1", 150-pound junior, getting the taps on the helmet as Sam Houston will have to punt it away again.
So for the 3rd consecutive series, the Texans have to give it up. And Max Sane on the pump for the 3rd time.
Revere standing on his own 45. But I'd look for pressure this deep near the end zone.
Here comes a rush, and Sane able to get it off. Revere lets it go over his shoulder, gets away from it, drops, and down on the other side of the midfield stripe at about the 48.
That's where Arlington's next possession will start when we come back from the break here on the Zap Network.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
A touchdown pass to Jamar Burton, the only scoring so far. Arlington has it at its own 48, their 3rd possession of the first half. And the handoff. Nice move inside, a shoulder fake, and then a head turn upfield close to the first down, and he may have it a gain of 11. It is.
Cruz in on the stop for the Texans, but not before Revere with a solid run into enemy territory.
Gave the defender a soft shoulder and able to scoot ahead for another couple of yards. From the Texan 42. Revere to the right of Cravens. Another handoff over the left side, jammed up at the 40, able to bounce to the outside to the 35, and close to the marker at the 32. Nice second effort. And that's indeed where they do spot it. It'll be 2nd and a yard. Christian Moore, number 6, and Cravens in the backfield. So Christian Moore stays in, provides blocking. Cravens flush from the pocket and will go down at the 39. Nobody open and had to take the loss. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7. Deepest receiver just now getting back to the huddle, Jackson Nelson.
Second time that Arlington has gotten into plus territory around the 40-yard line and come up with 3rd and long.
3rd and 7 from the Sam Houston 39. And Cravens maybe changing the play and running out of time. Play clock was down to 4.
Yeah, not enough time on the play clock for that, so they'll take a timeout and we'll.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
The Arlington Colts facing a 3rd and 7 at the Sam Houston 39. Back to a little bit of the history, Zach. That first game back in 1967, Arlington winning that game 17-6. It was ugly. After the first snap, it was a bench-clearing maul. I mean, it was building up for a couple of weeks. Arlington, the established school, Sam Houston, the newcomer. Hey, we can play football too, but after the first snap, just a bench-clearing brawl.
Well, hopefully we don't encounter anything like that this evening.
Sam, the home team that first game, and a crowd of about 10,000 at the old Memorial Stadium. 3rd and 7 from the 39. So Cravens double checking. Comes back from the shotgun. He'll hand it off. And the movement inside the 30, right at the 35.
That carry indicates to me, John, that this is 2-down territory for Arlington, and they wanted to see just how much they had to work with on 4th down.
Oh, there's no question. 4th and about 3.
That carry by number 6, Christian Moore, earning some reps for the Colt offense.
So a tie one here at 7-0. Arlington having a 4th and 3 from the Sam Houston 35.
12 on the play clock. They're going to have to go with this play. Can't change it at the line.
They're going to scoot Christian Moore a little bit further to the right. It's down to 2 seconds. They do get it off, and they hand off to Moore up the middle, and is jackhammered down, and a loss of a yard.
Turnover on downs, a defensive stop for Sam Houston. They'll get it at the 36 when we come back here on Zap.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
First and 10 for the Texans. Probably the best starting field position they've had all night, John.
Take advantage of something here. Giorgio Harris, one of the running backs, as he show a power front to the right side, and here's a running play 45 and crossing midfield and more yardage and a gain of about 18. Longest gain of the night for Sam Houston on 1st and 10.
Finally catching up was Dermond Cunningham, but not before they move it into Arlington territory for the first time tonight.
So they cross midfield. They have it at the Arlington 44. Sam Houston's fourth possession this half. Yeah, let's see what Chris James has in store here. Ja'Cory Melbourne, number 10, a junior, in the backfield. And a marker dropped as Sam may have jumped the gun. A procedure call. Fired off pretty quick along that far right side. And it'll cost them 5. So the ball placed at the 49, 1st and 15. Texans had 6 offensive starters back from last year. Lost a ton of lettermen, but they did return 6 to begin the season. Diving to the 46, that's where his knee touched. Perhaps maybe a little bit outside the 46, which sets up second and about 12.
Yeah, Stokes on a corner run keeper, had some lead blockers.
Mm-hmm. So they do spot it at the 47, second and 13, trailing 7-0. Stokes is belted as soon as he let it fly. It's almost picked off as Stokes really shouldered down hard as soon as he let go of it. And we have a player down. It's like an Arlington defender at about the 41-yard line.
Well, they tend to him. We'll take one more short break and be back in 30 here on Zap.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need ICA Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, ICA features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call ICA at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Jacob Batiste, a cornerback, shaken up and headed to the Arlington sidelines.
Always a good sign to see him heading that way under his own power, though.
Unattended. We're on the 47, third and close to 13. Stokes down the rail, right side into double coverage and intercepted at the 20. 25, 30, 35, looking for an avenue 40. Comes this way, 45. And a nice return all the way out to the 47-yard line. Samaji Davis, the junior, on the interception.
Sam Houston is claiming that they were able to punch the ball out and got it back.
They're indicating first down the other way.
A lot of jumping up and down, a lot of pointing. There was a come-from-behind tackle to try to knock the ball loose, but they look like they're going to be giving the ball to Arlington near midfield. It is the first turnover of the game that goes Arlington's way. We'll keep it right here on the Zap Network as Arlington getting ready to send the offense
Chauncey
back out onto
Price
the field.
ended up with it, Zach, but it stays with the Colts.
Celebration ensuing down on the sidelines as the Colts get it at their own 48.
That's where the drive started before it went over on downs. So for the second time, they begin the drive at their own 48, leading 7-0.
6:45 to go until halftime here.
Cravens from the gun, the fake to Revere. Cravens is in trouble. Escapes one, evades another, throws, and almost intercepted at the 40. That was a Price. Got the inside position intended for Alex Moore.
Yeah, Price, one of those two-way athletes that we talked about during the beginning of the broadcast, John. He plays wide out on the offense and plays defensive back on the defense. And that's been one of Sam Houston's troubles, is when you have those athletes playing both sides of the ball, they get winded twice as fast.
He does have 2 touchdown receptions this year, but again drops back in the secondary. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Revere swings out. Cravens goes the other way. Caught midfield, 45, 40, and a first down inside the 40. Nice slant.
Wide receiver tunnel screen, it looked like, as he came back towards the quarterback and used his teammate as a lead blocker to get a couple of extra yards.
The Texans bit on the move to the near sideline, and that opened up the nice slant, the reception, and a first down to the 39. 2 receivers on either side. Ball right between the hash marks. High snap. Craven soon gets rid of it. Caught, and another first down. That quick out and hard to defend. Jackson Nelson on the receiving end. I love that slant pattern, that crossing pattern, Zach, because you're always in front of the defender. You always have the inside edge.
When you get that inside position and you're as athletic as these receivers are, it's tough to defend.
We're on the 28 and a fresh set of downs. Running play, Revere not going anywhere. Is gang tackled as they move forward, trying to push Max ahead a couple of yards, and they'll spot him down at the 27. A hard punishing 1 yard. Clock moving, 5:25 to go in the first half. 8-6A, week 6 of this 2025. 3 receivers to the left on 2nd and 9. They've got time, play clock down to 10. The man in motion is Jackson Nelson, and up the middle inside the 25 and yardage to the 23. They'll need a little closer to 5 here on 3rd down.
John, I just got word from Pops, who's spotting tonight, that the starting right guard for Arlington, number 75, Bastis, is being tended to on the sidelines. So that interior line having to go 2nd level in the depth chart right now.
Quick pass as Cravens a little short on the delivery to Jackson Nelson.
Should be Rothwell coming in relief of him.
Well, they've lost Soto and kind of banged up right now.
Actually, I see 75 right now. Taylor is out there. 66 is the start. Chris Burns,
a junior,
issuing the snaps right now for the Colts.
All right, 4th and 5 as a scrimmage from the Texan 23. 3 receivers to the near side for Coleman Cravens. Empty backfield, looking over the middle and brought in. It's a catch to the 16.
Kason Brown with the catch on that slant you were talking about earlier, John. Got in front of the defender and had just enough to move the sticks.
Kason Brown, sophomore, 1 of 3. Arlington with 41 seniors, 34 juniors. That comprises the varsity roster for head coach Scott Peach in year number 23. They hold a 7-0 lead. We're inside 5 minutes. Well inside. 4:10 to go. We're on the 16. In motion, Jackson Nelson comes to a full stop on the left side. The fake, Cravens will keep it, trying to go down the outside. It is bumped out of bounds at about the 13.
Yeah, got escorted out by number 6, Emmanuel Thomas, the senior linebacker for the Texans. A marginal pickup on that zone read keeper.
And it is spotted at the 13, sets up 2nd down and a long 6, short 7. In the red zone, well within striking distance, leading 7-0. Jackson Nelson wide right alongside Alex Moore from the 13. Nelson the move man. Here's Cravens. He will pitch it, and now surrounded and a loss of yardage, pushed back, and well played by that defensive right side of Sam Houston. Sets up third and a little over 10. Cannon Cameron had started on. He will stay on as William Nelson comes out. Third and a little over 10 yards needed. From the Sam Houston 17-yard line. Cravens drops back over the middle and picked off a yard deep in the end zone. Pass intended for Alex Moore and intercepted by the Texans a yard deep in the end zone.
So it's a turnover and a touchback and Texan football as Arlington's drive stalls. We'll be back in 30 here on the Zap Network.
From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistic Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pick-up so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistic Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
Sam Houston has the football at their own 20, trailing 7-0. And hold everything as soon as Stokes gets the snap from center. The umpire behind the Colt defense drops a flag. So they get a break on the interception, but they lose 5 yards. Back to the 15. It'll be 1st and 15. Try to do a little bit of motion in the backfield. Stokes and Giorgio Harris in the backfield. 1st and 15. Have a wing back that has come over from the near side. Here's Stokes. Gives it to Harris. And Harris dragged down at the 14. A loss of a yard. He needs 16 yards here on 2nd down with 2:46 to go in the first half. Arlington on top 7-0, courtesy of a Jamar Burton pass from Coleman Cravens.
I don't think when we came into this game we were expecting a defensive battle, John.
That's what we have, yeah.
A couple of interceptions, a couple of turnovers on downs, and a lot of field position.
From the 14 on 2nd and 16. He will keep it. And crossing the 20 out close to the 22-yard line.
Close to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Gain of 8 yards. Winding down to the 2-minute mark. We have reached the 2-minute mark. And there is a timeout with the Arlington Colts on defense trying to slow down their Sam Houston offense. Texans will face a 3rd and 8.
When we come back here on the Zap Network.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
2 minutes to go until both teams head to the locker rooms. Only 7 points put on the board. I don't think either of us saw that coming, John.
Well, 7 is enough right now as the Colts trying to hold off Sam Houston here, 3rd and 8. And the Texans line up at their own 22. Stokes looking, throws deep, right side into double coverage and batted away at midfield.
Some good closing speed there by Troy McDaniel, able to swat away the pass before it landed in the intended target. And it'll be another punting situation for the Texans.
Trying to go deep and get it into the hands of Giorgio Harris. And batted down, and the fourth punt in the first half for Sam Houston.
Good kick.
Gathered in about knee high by Revere. Able to gain about 4 yards as he caught it at the 44. Had to go down low to scoop it and not turn it over.
1:45 till halftime. We'll be right back with more Colt Football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, then you need to see Yachty Pagan at Classic South in Euless. Yachty's a proud Arlington ISD product, a graduate of Lamar, and the voice of the Volunteers since 2021. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned buyer, or just looking to boost or rebuild your credit, Yachty's direct approach is why his customers become customers for life. Call or text 817-706-5679.
Each team with a turnover. Colts have it at their own 47, 1st and 10. Coleman Cravens flush from the pocket, throws in the intercepted at the 40. This could be 6. It will be 6. And the Texans on the interception have pulled within a point. That's
number 17. I don't see a 17. Caleb Harris.
Caleb Harris.
Between our 3 rosters, we finally have somebody. Harris comes underneath the middle wide receiver screen and takes it back the other direction, and we're about to have a tie ball game.
Played it perfectly, picked it off, and nobody was going to catch him, and it's a 7-6 game. Second turnover for the Colts.
And it's a costly one.
Angel Estrada, a freshman. He's a lefty. Will try to tie it up. So Estrada out of the hold of Carmelo Stokes.
They intercepted Arlington's ball and took it back for a touchdown. They didn't have a team ball for their extra point attempt.
Last 2 drives for the Colts, interceptions.
And now the touchdown to interception ratio, I believe, is even for Coleman Cravens on the season.
Estrada, and the extra point is just inside the left upright. It's a new game. The Texans have made it a new contest at 7-all.
1:34 to go until halftime, and there's a lot of jawing down around the 10-yard line after the momentum swinging in Big Sam's direction. We'll take a short break and be back here on the Zap Network. PDA Advocacy Group supports CCMR, College, Career, Military Readiness, a set of educational standards designed to help students be better prepared for post-high school life. If college-bound, take entrance tests, dual credit courses, earn a 2-year degree prior to graduation. If you're going to a career, take classes that will result in industry certification, mechanic, computers, welding, etc. The options are vast. Military? Enlist in the armed forces as a career. CCMR, driving towards success in life.
Tied at 7, Arlington's 5th possession. The interception cost them as Caleb Harris takes it all the way. And new life for Sam Houston.
If they couldn't do it on offense, then they'll do it on defense. Second consecutive possession with an interception, and this one going back about 45 yards the other direction to put Sam Houston on the board and tie things up with Arlington High.
Max Sane will kick off. Max Revere back deep for the Colts at his own 25. Arlington will get the ball to begin the second half.
Interesting kickoff formation.
Yeah, here's Sane. It's a squib kick. Low hop.
That's a
on
live
the
ball.
chase, picked up by Revere at the 5. And here come a lot of white jerseys and red pants, and a late marker drop at the 30. There's another flag.
Couple of Texans in on the stop. Raymond Cruz getting some special teams reps in on the tackle there. If the foul at the 30 is against Arlington and the foul at the 12 is against Sam, then This may offset, and we may re-kick.
That ball took a hard skip, Zach, at about the 20 as Revere had to retreat. Picks it up at the 5. But the first flag thrown before the second back at the 30.
It is a hold and a personal foul. They will offset and just give Arlington possession. I thought there was a chance they might replay the play, but Arlington will just take it where the play concluded, and it'll be first down for Arlington. They have 1 timeout remaining and about a minute and a half to go before the break.
1:28 in this first half. Sam Houston again coming off of a loss to Bowie 2 weeks ago, 52-7. Their only win came earlier in the year, the opener at Irving Nimitz.
Arlington faltering 48-31 at the Gopher Warrior Bowl against South Grand Prairie. Still in the upper half of the district standings, though, with that 1-1 record. South and Bowie both 3-0 after their respective wins last night. A conference from the officials are signaling that the personal foul was a dead ball. Therefore, the fouls will not offset and may both be enforced.
Well, they're going to place it at 20 and then march it off.
21 on the near hash, it looks like.
That's where it's spotted at the 21.
Worth having that conference to make sure you get it right.
And they did. So Coleman Cravens and the Colt offense at their own 21. Alex Moore in as a running back. Moore breaks it off, swings it out, caught, being tracked and dropped at the 19.
Looks like Sam Houston may take a timeout in order to try to get a possession before the break.
Oh, as soon as Moore caught it, he was a marked man and a loss of a couple of yards.
Arlington will play from behind the sticks as Sam utilizes their first timeout. They have 2 remaining. Fans, a reminder to stay tuned for the halftime show presented by Taqueria Taco Express. We'll have some thoughts and analysis on this defensive first half, as well as some scores from around the district. And if the Dallas Morning News is here, then we'll provide some statistics as well. Pops has been keeping track of the drive summaries, so we'll be able to do a sort of statistical recap one way or another. But honestly, John, there's not a whole lot of stats to speak of aside from the touchdown to Burton and the pick 6.
Yeah, that's been about it. From the 19, 2nd and a dozen. Christian Moore and Cravens in the backfield. Moore, number 6. 2nd and 12. And here's Moore. Moore up the middle to the 25. Gain of 6.
And Sam Houston will stop it again.
Arlington needing to get to the 31 for a first down.
It's an interesting gambit by Coach James and his coaching staff. If you can force another punt, Carmelo Stokes has been airing it out in this first half. And if he can get the placement of his passes correct, they have big play potential with players like Price and Bingham.
This deep, Zach, I would think if they hold the Colts and force a punt, they send the house. You send everybody in.
Of course. If you don't get it, hopefully you get a decent return to put it near the 40. That's
right.
Still a decent opportunity for a couple of deep attempts before the break. A minute 12 to go here in the first half. Arlington's ready to go. Sam Houston is not.
Yeah, they're not quite set.
They're not in any big rush to get going here.
Tied at 7 from the Arlington 25. Second, or needed to get to the 31.
That should be
Third down.
This should be third down. They haven't changed the indicator on the far sidelines.
3rd and 6. We're on the 25. Plenty of time. Ravens, play clock down to 7. They get the snap. He will keep it, run to the right, and Cravens taken out of bounds hard at about the 28.
So not enough distance. Clock is rolling.
And no one in a hurry to stop it.
It's gone well under a minute. That may be the final play of the first half. Where did the clock go? This doesn't look correct. They may have to make some adjustments. No?
It disappeared. I mean, it would be 4th down.
I don't know where the clock went. Sam Houston was playing for an extra possession, and the next thing we know, we're headed to the locker rooms.
But they were able to tie it up on the interception return by Caleb Harris.
Tied at 7 apiece here at Choctaw Stadium. We're going to take a little break and have a conversation with Arlington head coach Scott Peach that was recorded at the beginning of the season. When we come back, it's the halftime show presented by Taqueria Taco Express. I don't think anybody saw a tie ball game coming, but that's what we've got here. Stick around. We've got an exciting second half coming up in just a little while.
The 2025 season is upon us, and at the time of this recording, it's the first day of practice, so it is literally just now getting underway. And for those of you tuning in on this halftime show, it's a Colt Conversation with Coach Peach. I'm Zach Arnold, and we're back again for another season of these conversations and another season of covering Colt football. Coach, thanks so much for having us back for another year.
You bet, Zach. I appreciate all you do, man.
Let's just take a look at the 2025 season in general. What do you feel like you personally are looking forward to the most out of this season?
First, I'm really excited about this group. We have a group of young men that football is probably their highest priority. And with that being said, just watching them this summer with how committed they were to being here every day, working together. You know, the other thing that was nice is last year was really our best football team that we've had in 3 or 4 years. Pre-COVID, we went through 2017, 18, 19, 20, where we were making deep runs in the playoffs. And then after COVID, we didn't have the same type of production that we'd liked, although I'm proud of those teams. But last year we had a very successful season, and so I'm excited about building off of that with this group. The other thing I'm most proud of with this group is the accountability to each other. We talk a lot about accountability to your teammates. And we've got a lot of guys in leadership positions that do it right and then also are willing to hold their teammates accountable. So, you don't know until you take the field and see what it looks like, but I'm really excited about this group.
You were talking about the momentum from the previous season. It was still probably not to the hopes or expectations of what the Colt community might be used to. You do have a long playoff streak, but you were talking about the talent and the inability to get past the first round, and that's something that has been backing this team up since COVID, as you mentioned. What do you feel like there is about this team that might be able to get you over that hump this year?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, just the belief that we can. I think we've got to get to a point where we have the confidence going into those games, in the playoffs where we can. I think, too, now, Coach Hensley and our defense are going on their fifth year together, and that's a great thing, too, because the transition we made going back to the 4-3 defense, just takes some time to kind of get a rhythm on, and so I'm excited about that. It comes down to kicking game a lot of times, too, and I'm really excited about our kicking game this year. I think that we're going to be doing it at a really high level. And then, when you've got a third-year starting quarterback, if we can keep him healthy, I just believe that that's a big asset for us. He ought to be one of the top quarterbacks in DFW. And on top of that, too, we have not had a 3-year starting quarterback in the 23 years that I've been here. And to have that in Coleman Cravens is a huge blessing. And I think that when you get into those big ball games, as we start talking about a game for a district championship, as you start talking about a first-round playoff game and things like that, that experience is going to pay dividends, for this team.
After one team's unfortunate absence last year, Arlington now has the longest playoff streak in the district. How does that make you feel, number one, and how what kind of pride do you as a coach and with the coaching staff that you've got, how do you feel about that type of consistency that you've been able to build?
Yeah, I think it's important for our community to hear that. You just said that our community has a set of expectations of where we need to be better than what we are. And so that being said, I think they need to hear, too, that there are a lot of good things going on. So when you can go out and say we made the playoffs 16 of the last 17 years, when you can say that we've held the longest streak with a 10-year run right now of all the Arlington schools, I think that says a lot about the program that we run. One thing I'm really proud of here is that, stability is a big part of our coaching staff. This will be year 23 for me. Coach Nelson, Coach Story have been with me the entire time. And then on top of that, I've got a lot of coaches on my staff that have been with me quite a while, or they either played here or played with me or started with me from the beginning. So I think that's important for parents to know because, again, why would I send my kids to Arlington High School? Well, I'm going to do that because I know what I'm getting when I get there. I know they're always going to compete at a high level. I know they're going to look out for the best interest of my child. And so I think it says a lot. And, to your point now, we want to take that next step and get back to runs in the playoffs. But what you need to allude that to is, when we've had streaks with deep runs, they've been multiple years in a row.
Right.
You have to get over the hump this year. And once you get over that hump now, all the kids behind it are used to being second-round playoff team, third-round playoff team.
Right.
But at some point, you got to get over the hump, and that's the goal with this football team.
You've lost a pretty heavy senior class. A lot of seniors graduated last year. And during the banquet, you lauded them as the ones that kind of helped break through after COVID kind of decimated things. And they're the ones that stuck through the program, had a lot of resiliency, but there's a lot of seniors gone. There's a lot of D1 talent that's moved on. Who do you feel like you're going to lean on? You mentioned Cravens being a 3-year starter, but who else is there to lean on after so many seniors gone?
Yeah, so I think if you just take our 6 leaders of our football team right now, I mentioned Coleman Cravens. Jamar Burton is a 3-year starter in the slot. Eli Holbrook is committed to Wake Forest right now and 2-year starter for us and a really special left tackle. Cam Gray was a big-time player. He already has a D1 offer right now to Missouri State. A defensive tackle for us is a returning starter from last year. Troy McDaniel at linebacker is a really special talent for us. And then we've got a kid, A.J. Payne, who's just a junior. The rest of those guys are seniors. But for him, great leadership skills, really good football player. And he ended up playing the last 4 or 5 games of the year for us on the varsity as a sophomore. That group of 6 right there will lean heavily on with their leadership, with their ability to hold their teammates accountable, with their work ethic, and with their playmaking ability.
There's a lot of changes going on venue-wise this season. You get to make a return to UTA. A majority of your games will be played there just because of the renovations and changes that are being made within the district. How does it feel to make your way back to those stomping grounds? It's literally right down the street. There was a pretty good fan turnout for the Martin game. What's it like going back there?
Yeah, we're really excited. The problem was 5 years ago that basically UTA and AISD had run into a dead end. And I had watched it for about 2 years take place. And the problem was it needed some updates. UTA was at a place where they really weren't willing to at that time. And Arlington ISD wasn't really willing to take on the financial means to get those things done.
Right.
So from that standpoint, that was the transition to Choctaw. And 5 years in Choctaw was a blessing for us. It was a really great venue to play in. The problem was that our community really didn't tie into Choctaw. So as nice as it was for the players and the coaches, it was really – it didn't match our fanfare. It didn't match our student section. The way the stands were set really wasn't conducive to high school football for us. So that being said, when we had a chance to go to UTA last game of the year against Martin last year, it just reminded us how much we belong there. The stands were full. The student section was right on top of us. The cheerleaders could get back to cheering right in front of there. The band was where they needed to be.
Creates a different atmosphere.
And it absolutely does. And UTA wanted us back. That was the most important thing, was that they were excited about us coming back in there. And so they've got the new scoreboard now. They've got the lights over the top set and ready for us. I've always enjoyed their home side locker room. I've always enjoyed their stands. And so, and we're 30 seconds from Arlington High School. So with that being said, getting to play 6 home football games in there this year is going to be really exciting for our community. And I expect our fan base to be a lot bigger this year, just because it's easy for our fans to get to that stadium and get in and out, versus Choctaw was tough.
You also got to beat Martin there at the end of the year last year. That must have felt really nice, just to get a notch in that rivalry in front of the home crowd after being away from there for so long.
Yeah, I think for us, it really came down to our backs were up against the wall, right? That was a game that we had to win. We had a lot going for us at that time, but we needed that victory coming off the Grand Prairie game with a win, and we did it, right? And so for us to do it in UTA, no doubt gives us a lot of confidence going back in there. When you walk away and you say you were able to defeat Martin and come away to the playoffs and really get the ball rolling late in the season, that confidence transfers over to UTA this year, and our kids will remember that, no doubt. It was a great night. In fact, if you asked probably half our football team what was your favorite memory, in football, a lot of them would probably tell you beating Martin in the last game of the year to earn the playoffs at UTA. There's no doubt that transfers to what's to come.
Well, and when they're must-win situations, that almost becomes a playoff atmosphere, because you know what you're in for, and it's a team that you really, really want to beat for city bragging rights, district bragging rights. That definitely had a playoff atmosphere, and it was a great venue to have it in. Yeah,
it was a special night. We're really proud of that night, but I will say this too: every year is different, and so for this football team moving forward, we just have to embrace UTA as our home field, and I think we're ready for that.
What's the general excitement level at this school, and then how do you feel it is at the district level for the renovations that are being done to some of the other stadiums in the district and the opening of the brand new stadium at Glaspie? Obviously, UTA is the place that Arlington is most centered on, but the district seems to be doing a lot to help improve the stadium and game experience for the district as a whole.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of Eric White and as our athletic director. Kim Peach is our assistant AD, and Rickland Holmes as assistant AD, and their direction right now of taking care of our football stadiums. The excitement around building Glaspie and having a new stadium for Seguin and Martin to share. The excitement about Cravens and Wildman, putting the emphasis back in there. And then importantly, while we're waiting on those stadiums to get ready, us to have the ability to play at UTA and play at Choctaw.
Right.
Is a really big deal.
That kind of flexibility keeps it within the city instead of having to go up to Birdville or something like that.
Yes, and Dr. Smith and Dr. Hill have both, in their leadership, have shown that they want to support us in having places to play at great venues until the time comes when we have those stadiums ready.
Right.
But I'll give an example. Cravens Field started in 1970. Mm-hmm. And my dad was the head football coach there. Mm-hmm. And when you walk in that locker room, it was built for 35 football players, which was the size of a varsity football team back in 1970, right?
Right.
We are now 55 years later, and it's time for an upgrade. Because when Arlington High School shows up over there and we've got 80 football players, in a locker room that was built for 35, it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
And so the excitement that they're going to redo that stadium, that they're going to redo Wildman Field, it's really exciting for the community. And to have 3 really nice state-of-the-art stadiums for our communities is going to be awesome.
One last question that I have for you. There's just a rising prominence among 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, a lot of whom you're going to be responsible for, is NIL. When coaches are recruiting, that's probably something that they're talking about, is what kind of exposure, what kind of opportunities they can get. How does that affect the recruiting process on the high school end, and has it affected your program's culture in the last couple of years?
It's like anything else. You have to figure out what the rules are at play. And then, okay, these are the rules we're playing by. Great, let's adapt to that, okay? When this whole thing first started about transfer portal and kids jumping everywhere, and then I got to do the same thing with high school, and I got to move to this school to get this or that, I think there was a time of uncertainty for kids, for parents, for coaches of what that looked like. Well, now we know what the transfer portal is, right? And what kids are figuring out is they can play football at a really high level at a 6A program at Arlington High School.
Right.
Who, by the way, in the past 2 years, if you go back and look, we played North Crowley, we played Highland Park,
Yep.
we played South Lake Carroll.
Yep.
Okay? Those were the 3 teams that represented the North in the state championship game this year at AT&T Stadium.
Right.
We're playing as good a people and as big a ball as there is in the state of Texas. So once everybody settled down, they realized Arlington High School is an awesome place to be for my children.
Uh-huh.
And the next thing that happened is we've got some big-time guys with Deion Mays going to TCU with an NIL deal.
Yep.
Isaiah Robertson going to SMU with an NIL deal.
Yep.
With Caleb Olabode, just a one-year starter because he got to us late with eligibility, getting a D1 full ride offer to Missouri State.
Yep.
With Toby Akintati, right? 3-year starter at defensive tackle, going to Division I Houston Christian.
Yep.
This is a great place to be. But it just took everybody kind of settling down and saying, okay, you know, it's important to play for your community, for these college coaches to get a chance to know where you come from and what it looks like. And then I'll say this about NIL. Regardless of where it's at with college football, I love this for our high school kids at Arlington High School because the opportunity for me to play the game I love,
Right.
then for it to turn into a full ride scholarship at an SMU or at a TCU, which is Deion and Isaiah,
Right.
which is a $95,000 a year education,
Yep.
which if I walk out of there with a degree can change my life forever.
Absolutely.
Generational change, right? And then on top of that, you're going to pay me monthly to go play the game I love, right? And have financial change in my life that changes not only for me, but my mom and my family is phenomenal. And so from my vantage point, it's outstanding. And this past year was the first year I went through it. And I'm really excited for our kids because to have these opportunities, you know, it's life-changing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Welcome into the halftime show presented by Taqueria Taco Express. Everybody, alongside John Nelson, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this District 8-6A game that is as defensive as you could possibly get, John. I feel like this isn't high school football. I feel like we're watching something in the SEC right now. A lot of interceptions, a lot of punts, a lot of field position game being played. And right now, Caleb Harris's pick 6 is the biggest momentum swing of the entire ball game.
Yeah, Arlington's last 4 possessions, Zach, a punt, ball went over on downs, and consecutive interceptions.
It's very unconventional. It's not what we're used to from this Arlington offense. And, in spite of everything, it probably should be 14-21 nothing, but a 7-7 ball game is exactly what Sam Houston would hope for, and we'll see what this second half can bring. Halftime is presented by Taqueria Taco Express. They can solve any Mexican food craving with 5 convenient locations and a 6th one opening soon. Those cravings can be solved easier now than ever. Be sure to visit them on their Taco Tuesday for their 5 taco and large agua fresca special for just $10. Order online to collect points you can redeem for free food. Visit TaqueriaTacoExpress.com to find out more. John, what are some of your overall thoughts on this first half of play, and how surprised are you that Sam Houston is this in it?
Yeah, Sam Houston, you look at their stats, 29 total yards, but the game tied at 7. I thought the sweeps and the misdirection plays were working pretty well for Arlington, especially in the first quarter, but they kind of vacated that. 5 different running backs accounting for the 72 yards. It's not going to get the job done.
There's a lot of distribution coming out of the backfield for sure, trying to find that one play that's working. And like you mentioned, there have been a couple of big plays, but Arlington with 10 first downs in this first half. It's been more of a methodical process offensively for them. Only 3 first downs for Sam Houston, says the Dallas Morning News, and one of those came off of a penalty very early in the first quarter. So aside from that penalty first down on the first drive, their offense has not done quite so much.
And you know what Chris James is telling his team right now? Hey, you're in this game. We've tied it up at 7, trying to knock off Arlington High for the first time since 2020. Scott Peach telling his team, stay composed. We have the depth, we have the experience. Just don't do anything that really will cost you in the long run.
The things that have been the most costly have been those 2 interceptions that you talked about. It's now 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions on the season for the 3-year starter, Coleman Cravens. A very unconventional 7 of 14 for just 5 yards per completion for him.
There have been some balls overthrown on both sides. Colts could easily have 3 touchdowns. Sam Houston could have 2, just unable to connect that middle deep pass route.
A couple of deflections as well. Carmelo Stokes has come close, but not quite close enough on a couple of his deep attempts to players like Price and Bingham. Right now, he has 1 completion out of 8 attempts, and it went for -2 yards. So the 27 total yards, -2 of them are through the air. So their offense is having trouble getting things going. I believe they had 1 play that went for more than 10 yards. Everything else, they've struggled offensively.
That was a gain of, I believe, a gain of 17, the longest run from scrimmage. But, in the long run, Zach, you got to like Sam Houston coming out. They have to give up the ball. They'll kick off to Arlington High to start the second half. But, that defense is jacked up to the hilt.
Absolutely. Caleb Harris leading the charge, but also a lot of tackles coming in from players like number 12, Raymond Cruz. We called, I believe it was Wilborn's name a couple of times defensively. So there are some players flying around and some players playing on both sides of the ball. There was a batted away pass by number 1, Chauncey Price. And so Sam Houston, if their defensive unit is having the conversations I think they are, they're saying we've got them right where we want them.
I'll be interested to see how the Arlington offensive line can make a few adjustments. They had some players come in, come out, try to get that straightened out and see what their offense can start here. They get the ball first here in the second half.
We saw number 66, Chris Burns, lining up as the center. So there have been a few adjustments made to that offensive line, and pass protection is something that did not go in Cravens' way 2 weeks ago. And with a 7 for 14 performance in this first half, probably not what they were looking for in the first half. But I have been able to observe their locker rooms during halftime when I was a ball boy, when I was a character coach. I've been in those huddles with the coaches. They spend the first 10 to 12 minutes going through all the different possibilities, what they've observed up top, what they've seen down below, the conversations they've had with their players, what kind of things that they want to do, what kind of things they need to do. And then they spend the next 10 to 12 minutes just hammering those points into their players with whiteboards, chalkboards. They move their arms around and move the players around physically to work on, technique and positioning. Arlington, in my opinion, has some of the best halftime adjustments in the area, and it'll be interesting to see if they come out on fire in this second half.
And, you know, what we've seen in the secondary for Sam Houston, stay the course. I mean, the Colts have not clicked on a deep pass all night.
Right. They have not gone very far. 5 yards per completion, 72 rush yards. Brown with a couple of carries for 28 yards. Moore with a few carries for 28 yards. Revere just 10 yards on 6 carries. You got to get 22 a little bit more involved in the game.
As a slot back, as an inside receiver, I would like to see Revere have more touches for sure.
And getting Burton in motion from the opposite slot has been a big thing that helped them in their game against Weatherford. It helped them with some of the misdirection in the game against South Grand Prairie a couple of weeks ago. Revere and Burton are 2 players that we need to see more of. Burton does have 1 catch, and it was a touchdown catch. But
off of a deflection.
Off of a deflection.
Yeah.
So aside from that, Burton's been relatively quiet for this offense. So with that in mind, second half adjustments, what are the top 2 things you would recommend for both teams?
I would say Sam Houston with an all-out rush. I mean, you know, they've been able to get to Coleman Cravens a couple of times. I would say the Sam Houston defense really has to shine here in the second half. For Arlington High, the offense, it's easier said than done, stay the course, but maybe get Burton and Revere more into the mix.
Burton and Revere, and then I would also say Sam Houston's defense needs to get off the field. With the methodical drives that Arlington has had, eventually those players could lose their stamina. That's what happened a couple of weeks ago against Bowie. They were only trailing by 14 at the break, and then the final score at the end of the game was 52-7. So this second half is going to be critical for the Texans.
Well, they did look gassed on Arlington's second possession, and it's just one of those things that you spread the field out a little more, you take more time off the clock, you have the inserts for your substitutions on the bench, and they just don't have much depth. I mean, Sam Houston going to have to play all out.
It'll be a very fun second half that we'll be bringing you here on the Zap Network. Let's take a look at some scores from around the area presented by our friends at Ecus Signs. A lot of Thursday night action that happened in the school district, John. Most notably, the game that we covered last night right here at Choctaw Stadium, a 56-43 win for the Bowie Volunteers over Martin. Second year in a row that they've beaten the Warriors.
And didn't sit well with Martin, but the first half you did, the game looked pretty competitive.
It was a very tightly contested game. Bowie pulled out ahead by 6, I believe, at halftime, and then got a score to start the third quarter and never relinquished that lead. Martin kept knocking on the door, but eventually they got shut out in the fourth quarter, and Bowie was able to come away with a pretty big emotional victory. Another one in the area, a 61-20 win for Haltom. When their offense is on fire, they are on fire, and Grand Prairie unable to stop them at all.
Haltom could have easily beat Arlington early in the season.
They had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
It was a very, very close game. And then, as we talked about during the first half, South Grand Prairie, a 53, I said 59, a 53-0 stomping of the Lamar Vikings. They look like the class of the district this year.
They may have the best all-purpose quarterback in the area. They may have the best all-purpose running back in the area, both seniors back from last year.
And then another game in Arlington ISD, also on Thursday. Seguin got humbled by Argyle, who won their 29th district game in a row. The Eagles on top 41-24. You were at that game.
That's a very competitive district. Seguin had a chance early, but Argyle just wore them down, and they beat them for the second consecutive year.
Taking a look at the city to the south of us in Mansfield, Timberview and Summit are tied up at 14 apiece at the break. And then DeSoto and Duncanville, the clash of the Titans happening just one town over from there. It's Duncanville 28, DeSoto 20 at the break. And then one game of interest from 7-6A. We're starting to monitor some of the stuff that's happening to our by-district opponents. Lake Highlands is up on Jesuit at the break, 35-21.
I can tell you what's going to happen in that district, Zach. Barring a tsunami, or a nuclear attack, it's going to be Pierce, Lake Highlands, Jesuit in the mix. Irving MacArthur could play the spoiler.
Irving MacArthur has been very competitive. They beat these Sam Houston Texans and spoiled their homecoming night. there's definitely a lot of potential for us to keep up with over the course of that remaining few weeks. Any other thoughts as we send it back to the main camera to get ready for the second half of action here? Pride of Arlington High playing their way off of the field at the conclusion of their halftime show. Wilborn, number 0, has his mama tuning in to tonight's broadcast on YouTube. We thank the Sam Houston faithful for being a part of tonight's broadcast as well. We know that there's a lot of people that maybe can't make it out on a given night, and we appreciate the efforts of both fan bases being a part of tonight's action.
John Nelson back here at Choctaw Stadium. The Arlington Colts will receive the second half kickoff. Zach, there's nothing like a crosstown rival, the city's oldest rivalry. Sam Houston and Arlington, all the great players that have taken part in this game down through the years. Jeff Godley, Mike Adams, Chris James himself, Guy Morris, David York, Emery Estes, Rusty Ward, Don Bodenhammer. And the list goes on for the 59th meeting between these two teams.
So much history with this being the oldest series in the city of Arlington. And that may be the most competitive first half that I have ever called in this series that since we've been calling Arlington High games dating back to 2019. I believe this is the tightest first half we have ever observed between these two squads.
Is it ripe for an upset?
I mean, I posted on the socials that the Colts may be on upset alert. We'll see if they play with that approach and mentality here in the second half.
All right. Maxine to kick off. Squib kick and gathered in at the 15-yard line, crossing the 20, 30, crossing the 40 down the near side to midfield, and a huge return. Luis Mendoza. Mendoza still on his feet and shoved down inside the 10.
Looked like he may have gone out of bounds before that, but a huge return by number 12. He is very familiar with toting the rock as he's gotten some interceptions, including pick sixes this season, and he provides a spark to start this second half for Arlington.
Well, Luis Mendoza with a monster return. They say he did step out of bounds near the 35. They'll place it at the 34.
He just kept trying to tiptoe as long as the referees would allow him to, but that is one way to start the second half. 11 seconds into the third quarter, and the Colts are already knocking on the door.
First and 10, Arlington High from the Sam Houston 34. Christian Moore in the backfield with Coleman Cravens. Here's Cravens. He will fake to Moore. He rolls out. He has room. Throws on the run towards the end zone. Batted away at the 4. Getting his hands on it, it looked like Cruz.
Cruz got a piece of it. Cameron tried to catch it on his back near the 1-yard line. Could not make the same type of deflection grab that Burton did in the first half. And it'll just be a long incompletion for second down.
So Craven's rolling out, throwing on the run. 2nd and a dime from the 34. Arlington came in averaging 25 points a game. The Texans came in yielding right at 40. 2nd and 10. Handoff up the middle over right guard. First down yardage inside the 20. And a quick burst over the right side. And
that's
a first down run.
6, Christian Moore, getting some carries coming into the third quarter. He is making the most of the playing time that the coordinators are giving him.
So the green and white have it inside the 20, spotted closer to the 18. Revere not in the backfield. It continues to be Moore. And a gain of about 3. Taken out of bounds hard at that point. Number 4, Kason Brown.
According to Mr. Wolfskill, the PA announcer tonight, Skurlock in on the stop for Sam Houston.
Cannon Cameron, the sophomore, number 24, wide right. 2nd down, needing about 9. From the 17. Cravens, he will keep it. He runs to daylight and lost his footing at about the 15.
You know, Carmelo Stokes stumbled around that same spot on the turf in the first half, John. I wonder if there's a piece that is not level that's causing some trips.
As the late Darrell Royal would say, self-tackleization. So he goes down at the 15, sets up 3rd and needing right at 7. Cameron wide right with Jackson Nelson. From the 15 on 3rd down, game tied at 7. Cravens rolls out, being chased. He throws towards the far corner, batted away, and almost brought in, or was it brought in?
That was caught. Cannon Cameron with the 2nd deflection touchdown grab of the evening.
Off of the deflection towards the deepest corner of the end zone, the sophomore able to bring it in. Off of the deflection, we have a Sam Houston player down back near the 30-yard line.
What a grab by Cameron to put Arlington back in front. Both touchdown grabs coming off of deflected passes. What coordination, what skill to be able to haul that one in.
So 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the second half. The Colts strike first. Pierce Ling on to try to make it 14-7. Cravens will hold. Good snap, good hold, and the extra point is true and through.
Your new score, it's 14-7. Arlington back in front. We'll take a short break and be back with more high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing after this. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Classic South Drive summary. Next time you're ready to drive something new, call Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. That was a 7-play drive from the 34-yard line, John, capped off by an 18-yard touchdown to Cameron.
Both touchdown passes tonight off the deflections. It's a spinner, and taken at the goal line. Up the middle, 10-15. And no more. Stoned at that point.
And I believe the young man lost his helmet on that as well. Big hit on Harris.
Yeah. Wow.
As he gets popped at the 16.
Have you ever seen a game, Zach, with the 2 touchdown passes off of the deflections and a near impossible catch that Cameron was able to hold on to?
I can't wait to go back and watch that game. We weren't able to grab the replay in time, but that was absolutely stellar.
Hey, you don't have to like the painting, but you can appreciate the strokes.
Of course.
I mean, it's 14-7. That's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line. Colts are back in front.
1st and 10, Sam Houston from their own 17. Their first possession of the second half. Running play and not much. Shoved back at the line. And nothing at all.
Host of Colts there leading the charge was Mendoza.
That's Okina.
That was Okina on the carry.
Sophomore. Shamela Uwakalu Ukima.
I'm glad you got the pronunciation because I didn't.
I broke it down phonetically and still have trouble with it. 0 gain, 2nd and 10. Stokes handoff coming right, and 20-25 inbounds, 30, and a first down upended. He was submarined at the 32.
Good recovery by Harris. After getting stonewalled on the last drive, he's able to get the corner this time and pick up a first down.
So the Texans collect their first down of the second half, trailing 14-7. Colts winning last year 38-10. But a different story here in 2025. From the 32, Carmelo Stokes up the middle. And not much, gain of about 3.
Bostic in there on the coverage for Arlington on the front 7 there. They'll give him a few. Gets in front of the line of scrimmage. One of the things that's been hurting Sam Houston, John, is a false start or a hold that puts them behind the chains. They just need some momentum to stay in front of the sticks for a while.
Cam Gray at 270, one of the 2 Colts in on that last tackle. 2nd and 6. Latarius Wilburn is slotted to the right. Here's Stokes. Up the middle is hit first by Cunningham.
Sam Houston has a rushing attack and a deep ball attack. I have not seen very many passes of 5 to 10 yards in this ball game, John. Anytime they throw, they air it out deep.
And the guy that you talked about, Zach, Jermaine Bingham, has been kind of silent.
They need a medium pass play here on 3rd and medium. We'll see if Stokes is able to be on target.
Bingham not in there. 3rd down. Stokes has it, guns it over the middle. It is caught on the run and pulling away. 30, 20, inside the 10.
Latarius Wilburn, listed as a defensive end, makes the catch over the middle that he wasn't able to get in the first half. And Sam Houston, with their biggest play of the night, has a 1st and goal.
What a pass by Stokes.
Into triple coverage. Triple coverage. 3 men around number 0, and he still hauls it in and takes it inside the 10.
A huge gain. They mark it down at the 7. 1st and goal, Texans from the Arlington 7. Ukima to the left of Stokes. Wide left, Giorgio Harris, number 2. And it's Harris in motion, comes to a stop. And with that, a timeout taken. Sam Houston
We'll take a short timeout with them as Sam Houston is knocking on the door here at Choctaw Stadium. We'll be right back.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Sam Houston on the lip of the cup at the Arlington 7-yard line, 1st and goal. And now bunched up behind the right guard, you have 2 running backs. And here is a handoff and dragged down behind the line, sifting in Luis Mendoza.
Mendoza meeting Harris in the backfield to stop him for a loss all the way back to the 13.
And Mendoza kind of slow to get up, kind of get the feeling back. Mark it at the 12, a loss of 5. 2nd and goal. They come out kind of in that bunch package, Zach. They have 2 running backs lined up behind the right guard. And there's his tight, unbalanced offensive line again. 2nd and goal from the 12. Stokes looking, throws, it's batted away, knocked down at the 15. Pass a little bit too tall. Trying to hook up with Giorgio Harris. So it's 3rd and goal.
And is this 2-down territory, John? Because the extra point attempt was a line drive. That may not be very much in their zone. And you can't be trading touchdowns for field goals in a game of this importance anyways.
Antoine Copeland, number 91, comes on the D-line. Okima and Stokes in the backfield on 3rd and goal. Stokes has it, drops back, looking, throws, intercepted at the goal line.
They try to go back to the same play, going over the middle. And this time Arlington anticipating it and getting the INT. Dermond Cunningham trailing the tight end and undercutting the throw to stall the Sam Houston threat.
Cunningham, the commissioner of coverage on that pass play, had it well played.
There is a penalty marker. We'll let you know what the penalty is and Arlington's field position when we come back here on Zap.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Dermond Cunningham, the senior safety with the Arlington interception. And marked at the 5. Cravens, a handoff, and smothered in the backfield.
The catch-22 to getting a red zone stop like you just did, John, is your field position is probably the worst you've had all night.
So Christian Moore knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 11.
If I'm Sam Houston, you're hoping for a 3-and-out situation, and then you're going to go after the punter if he's still standing in his own end zone.
And still, Zach, no Max Revere out there, number 22.
Pops was looking for him earlier. I asked him to check during Arlington's last drive. He's not even on the sidelines, at least not in uniform.
Cravens from the end zone throws deep, up, and unable. Number 4 to climb the ladder, Kason Brown. As the Colts go deep on 2nd and long. Cravens with 2 interceptions tonight.
Almost had a third, throwing into double coverage.
Stokes has been picked off twice as well. So fresh legs, new numbers in. You've got Alex Moore, number 5.
Jackson Nelson, number 3.
Christian Moore stays in the backfield.
4:34 to go in the third.
3rd and 11. Colts leading 14-7. Cravens again from the end zone. Scans the secondary. He's being flushed, being hounded, and throws on the run and has a receiver open at the 25.
That's Moore out of the backfield. Nobody spied him coming out of the backfield, and instead of a safety 9 yards deep in the end zone, Arlington gets a first down across the 25.
Oh, the Texans let him out of jail and paid for it. 1st and 10, Colts from their own 25. Their second possession of the second half. 4:13, clock moving, quarter number 3. Twin receivers wide to the near side. The play goes the other way. It's Moore. And Moore crossing the 35. And a nice gain on 1st and 10, a huge gain.
Yeah, I'm continuing to scan the Arlington sidelines, John. I don't even see a 22 in street clothes. Sometimes they'll take the jersey off of the shoulder pads and just wear them with regular pants. There is no double twos on the sideline for Arlington.
So Moore's going to be the go-to guy for the rest of the night.
This is his game.
From the 39. Again, 2 receivers to the near side. That's Cason Brown and Alex Moore. Swing pass caught on the run, 40, 45, and Christian Moore, a gain of about 6.
They've done that swing pass a couple of times. They haven't been able to break it free just yet, but as long as you're getting positive yards, why not go back to it again?
2nd and needing about 4 from the Colt 45.
4, 5, 3, and 24. No Revere and no Jamar Burton on the field for the Arlington offense right now.
It's a peacemaker. It's a Colt 45. The gun that won the West. From the 45, 2nd and 4. And here's Cravens crossing midfield, shoved out of bounds at the Sam Houston 45.
That was a really good keeper on that play. He saw the linebackers crashing in on the running back, pulled it out of the breadbasket at the last second, and took off for a first down.
Placed at the 46. This drive started from the 5.
This could be a dagger of a drive if they can finish it with points, John.
49 yards on this current drive. Inside of 3 minutes. Texans with a 3-man front. Here's Cravens. Right side, throws it up high into double coverage and brought down inside the 20.
Cameron with another acrobatic play along the sidelines, and it moves the chains again.
Cannon Cameron, 6'3", 200 pounds, a sophomore wide receiver with maybe his best catch of the year. Into double coverage.
It might be tied for his touchdown grab. It's a coin flip.
So the Colts out of the corral. Again, this drive started from the 5. They have it at the Sam Houston 16. See what this pony attack can mount here.
Looks like a timeout's going to be taken before we can find out, John, and we'll take a short timeout with them. Arlington on the march after getting that interception from one red zone to the other. We'll be back right after this on the Zap Network.
Need a cleanup that's easier than finding your seat on game day? Trinity Logistics Services has you covered. Whether it's your home or your business, Trinity will drop off and pick up the dumpster. No hassle, no mess. Founded by Arlington's own Chet Soto, class of '97, Trinity Logistics Services is proud to serve their hometown. Call 817-693-1000 1302 and let's tackle your next project together.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. Alongside John Nelson, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this District 8-6A ball game. Tied at 7 at the break, and Arlington stopping a Sam Houston drive that had a lot of promise, and now knocking on the door themselves.
At the Sam Houston 16, 1st and 10. Cameron and Jackson Nelson, number 3, wide to the far side. Christian Moore, the junior, setback with Coleman Cravens. He'll give it to Moore, trying to bounce to the outside. He does, and able to scoot close to the 10-yard line. Nice gain of 6 yards. Second and short. 2nd and 4. And let's see, they brought in number 81. That's Keenan Wilson. Keenan Wilson, number 81, in tight.
Might be the first time we've called his name at all tonight.
Yeah, it is.
This looks like a direct snap.
And trying to make something happen, Kason Brown. Taking the snap from center, able to. It's jammed up. Texans clog it up. Just outside the 10. Virtually no gain. 3rd. And needing close to 4 yards. From the Texan 10-yard line, that offensive center, most of the offensive line intact at end of the first half. Cravens rolls out, looking, now goes the other way, being chased, still looking, throws, and this one caught at the 14, trying to move, and a whole host of Texans.
I don't think that was an eligible receiver,
No,
John.
that's
Eli Holbrook with the reception.
Yeah, 75.
That's Eli Holbrook with an illegal touch and a player down for the Texans. While they tend to him, we'll take a quick break and be back with a 4th down of some sort here at Choctaw Stadium.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Number 5, Jaden Skurlock being tended to after having to apply a hit to the much larger number 74, Eli Holbrook, standing 6'4", 295, a Wake Forest commit. When you've got somebody of Skurlock's stature going up against somebody that big trying to make the tackle, John, you might have the wind knocked out of you a little bit, but glad to see that he's up and walking under his own power.
Play just kind of unraveled, Zach. The more that Coleman scrambled, the more it kind of fell apart. And now you're going to bring on Pierce Ling, and this is well within his range. His longest field goal this year, 38 yards. So a 32-yard effort, angled to the right for Pierce Ling, the move in from Aledo last year.
They've got a pretty rich football history.
From 32 yards out, trying to make it 17-7 and a 10-point lead. It's spotted, it is up, and it is drilled through. From 32, it gives Arlington a 10-point lead.
43 seconds to go It's now a 2-possession ball game here at Choctaw Stadium. We'll take a quick break and be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this. Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. Classic Chevy Drive summary. That play started at the 5-yard line, made it all the way to the opposite end of the field in 10 plays, and capped off by a 32-yard field goal by Pierce Ling to give Arlington a 17-7 advantage. The next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
10 plays, Zach, and a ton of time taken off the clock. This kickoff is hammered deep. It's caught at the 4, crossing the 20, crossing the 25. Number 2, Giorgio Harris, senior defensive back, on the return.
Got a quick reader I'd like to get in before this third quarter concludes, John. The third quarter of all our games is presented by 1836 Home Inspections. Rooted in Texas pride, 1836 provides peace of mind for one of the most important financial decisions of your life. With comprehensive reporting, same-day report delivery, and cutting-edge technology, you can be assured with an 1836 Home Inspection Report. Call 817-382-2111 to schedule your inspection. 1836, your line in the sand, and our third quarter sponsor.
Second possession for Sam Houston here in the half. They started from the 17, now from the 25. Max Sane, the kicker, has come on in the backfield.
In a direct snap formation, perhaps?
I think that's what they wanted to do.
Interesting. Well, they're going to talk about it as Sam Houston takes their second timeout of the half with 37 seconds to go here in the third quarter. With the margin being what it is, that could be an interesting decision as you come down the stretch, John. They used a couple of their timeouts late in the second quarter hoping to get an extra possession. Now they won't even have that opportunity with 2 timeouts taken in this third quarter.
Yeah, I saw Sane, the punter, and the kicker come on, and he stays in there.
I do see 7 Stokes. Nope. Stokes has come back on.
As has Josh Jackson. Jackson, the new running back, number 20. Jackson, a junior. So is Jackson and Stokes in the backfield. And here's a handoff on the sweep. And a gain of about 8.
Looks like he may have leaned forward far enough for exactly 10 on that run, John.
Nice pickup, Giorgio Harris. Yeah, they move the sticks. He was within the first down area and has it at the 35.
Depending on if they want to, there's about a half a second differential between play clock and game clock. This may be the final play of the third.
Game clock 11. From the 35, first and 10, Sam Houston trailing 17-7. Stokes drops back and is hit as soon as he let it fly.
And that looks like it'll be the final play of the third quarter. It'll be second down for the Texans when we head to the fourth. It's just a 10-point ball game, but those 10 scored by Arlington in the third quarter could prove the difference. We'll find out when the fourth quarter starts right after the break. This is High School Football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
3 down, 1 to go as we begin the fourth quarter here at Choctaw. Sam Houston has it at the 35, facing a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, first down yardage and more, breaking into the secondary inside the 35, inside the 30. They can't bring him down.
Mendoza had to get a different angle and finally use a wrestling move to bring down number 20, Josh Jackson. And just like that, Sam Houston's in the red zone.
Josh Jackson taking, faking, shaking at the 19-yard line. A huge gain for Sam Houston. Almost in, well, just call it the red zone, might as well. So Jackson, number 20.
Coming in and providing a spark here in the second half.
Carmelo Stokes, the junior QB, takes a snap. It's a low snap, able to get it outside, and nothing happening.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, as it's a loss of 5 on the play. Arlington read that end around very well, as Harris had nowhere to go.
Huge loss on 1st and 10. 2nd and close to 16. Inside receiver, Giorgio Harris to the right side, number 2. Snap is rolled to the quarterback, just throws it up towards a corner, and contact inside the 5. Interference at about the 5-yard line. Samaji Davis crowding out Jermaine Bingham. So the Colts on pass interference. Go back to the line of scrimmage and mark it off. Those will place it inside the 15, but right on that area.
And the drive stays alive for the Texans.
Placed at the 15, 1st and 10. Stokes to the deep corner and overshoots his receiver. Trying to get it to Giorgio Harris.
Looked like he was trying to send him more to the back corner, and Harris played the near corner off his fingertips for 2nd down.
Well, if Sam Houston has a reverse play in their arsenal, Zach, he might as well pull it out. Bingham, one of the receivers to the near side. 2nd and 10, just inside the 15. Stokes wants to throw, guns it over the middle, and somebody got a hand on it.
Incomplete. 2 or 3 Colt defenders in on the play, among them number 33. That's A.J. Payne, part of the deflection.
Chauncey Price, the intended receiver. What it does is set up 3rd and long. 3rd and 10, just inside the 15-yard line. Colts on top, 17-7. A touchdown and a field goal here in the second half. Stokes unloads one-on-one coverage intended for Bingham.
Looking for a flag, not going to get it.
Had no chance of succeeding it. Again in coverage, Samaji Davis, and sets up 4th down. So they wasted 3 downs on 1st and 10. And going to bring out the lefty, Angel Estrada. Estrada with a 30-yard field goal attempt. Angled to the left. from 30. It is up, and it crawls over the crossbar for 3. The Texans go to the bars, and they get 3.
10:27 to go in the ball game. It's just a touchdown difference. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing, right after this.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
The freshman kicker, Angel Estrada, has pulled Sam Houston now a little closer, trailing 17-10.
It was a 2-possession game, back down to a 1-possession game, but Sam Houston's offense has yet to find the end zone. The only touchdown of the game was on an interception return.
Maxine will kick off. One of the 2 men back deep for the Colts. Cason Brown, he's to the near side. It's a ground ball and scooped up at the 30, 35, and gang tackled and pushed back at that point. 5-yard return. Let's see, number 16 on the return, Ethan Alvarez, backup quarterback.
Looks like there's a flag near the 43-yard line. Somebody may have been offsides for Sam Houston. Could be an extra 5 for Arlington after this return.
So they'll sort it out, and it'll be placed near the 40, right on the 40.
Yeah, Alvarez returned it to the 35. They'll give him the 5 yards offsides from the end of the play. Arlington with good field position to start this drive.
Number 7, William Nelson in as a receiver. Handoff up the middle, Christian Moore, and Moore draws a crowd at the 47.
Good pickup on first down. Moore is seeing the holes in the defense and attacking them with precision. Not necessarily breaking free, but staying in front of the chains and giving Arlington good first down runs.
Colts had 10 first downs and 143 total yards in the first half. 5 different running backs accounted for 72 of those yards. And Christian Moore's been the go-to guy here in the second half and trying to break free and getting the first down to the Sam Houston 45.
You know, it's not a 60-yard touchdown run, but if you can get 5, 6, 7 yards per carry every time you're touching it, I'll take that every day if I'm Coach Peach.
Yeah, you'll never face third down. You get those 2 5-yard carries on first and second down, you never see third. Jackson Nelson, number 3, stays in. Coleman drops back, looking this way, throws wide open, caught over the shoulder, 10-5, touchdown. Wide open, William Nelson.
Tight end wheel route works to perfection as Arlington able to put it back in front. Nelson with the over-the-shoulder grab as we finally get an instant replay tonight. And Arlington extends the lead.
Colts hoping that's a coffin-slamming touchdown. Pierce Ling out of the hole of Coleman Cravens. Trying to make it a 24-point offensive explosion. He's got it. And the lead back at 14 at 24-10.
9 minutes to go. Arlington answers the Sam field goal with a touchdown. We'll be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing after this.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need ICA Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, ICA features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call ICA at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you. From weekend cleanups to major projects, Trinity Logistics Services has the perfect fit for you. With dumpsters ranging from 10 all the way up to 30 feet, they handle both drop-off and pick-up so you can stay focused on cleaning up the win. Call 817-693-1302 today and let Trinity Logistics Services help you score big on convenience and efficiency.
The lead at 14 as Ling set to kick off. Giorgio Harris and Josh Jackson back deep at the Texan 5. And this is Harris at the 6. 20. And close to the 25, and that's where Sam Houston will start their third possession of this half.
That Arlington drive only took 3 plays, John, a couple of runs, and then that big pass play for 55 yards into the arms of William Nelson. The next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Gotti Pagan, our drive summary sponsor, 817-706-5679.
That touchdown came a minute and a half after the Sam Houston field goal.
That's about as quick of an answer as you can ask for.
From the 23, 1st and 10, Sam Houston. Maybe a yard, flattened hard at the 24.
Looks like Bostic in on the coverage there for Arlington. Fans, the fourth quarter is presented by Modern West Windows and Doors. See the difference their portfolio can make on your home by visiting their showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth, or by going to modernwestwindows.com to explore their inventory.
Second down, needing 9. Dan Santillan, number 11, a junior inside receiver. They go that way. It is caught, 25, and a first down.
Santillan, he had the lone touchdown reception against Bowie last week. Has been rather quiet in this ball game, but picks up a first down here.
Spotted at the 35, so they've gained 12 on this current drive. Down by 14.
With only one timeout, John, they're going to need a score and then possibly an onside.
Stokes over the middle, wide open, and was it caught? It skipped.
Underthrown, the most wide open target of the evening. Chauncey Price got away from everybody, and it split the defense on a deep post, and Stokes unable to step into the throw properly to make the completion. If he hits him in stride, John, that is 6 points easily.
Yeah, Dermot Cunningham and Samaji Davis were the two defenders, but he was wide open. 2nd and 10 from the 35. Stokes trying to do the quick out. Throws the inside screen. It is caught. And the chase is on and getting free. 40, 45, down the rail. 20, 10, inside the 10.
No flags, a huge catch and run all the way to the 5-yard line. That's number 2, Giorgio Harris, making a big play for Sam Houston late in the fourth. 7:48 on the game clock.
1st and goal at the Arlington 6.
Let's see if they give it back to Harris to let him finish what he started, John. Big, big run to flip the field.
Josh Jackson in the backfield. You've got Tavorian Bell.
Jumbo package.
Yeah, Bell is inside the offensive line, straight ahead. And maybe a yard over that offensive line of Trey Young, Ahmad Young, Andres Duarte.
I was expecting some sort of misdirection rather than running straight ahead, John.
Yeah.
You had everybody within 4 or 5 yards of each other. Nobody split out. I guess they were hoping Arlington would anticipate the same thing, but the defense stayed home and only gave up a yard.
So it is 2nd and goal, 7:17, clock moving.
They'll go the jumbo set again, almost like a triple option look.
They are bunched up, are they ever? And here's a penalty flag dropped. You had Ukina in the backfield as well, number 22.
Be a false start committed by a member of the Sam Houston offensive line. They'll back it up to the 10. Now we would probably expect Sam Houston to spread their offense out a little bit more now that they have some more field to work with.
Colts going to insert Jesus Giron. Number 94, junior defensive lineman. So Giron in there. Running play. And still moving close to the 3, to the 2.
That's Josh Jackson on the carry. He's been the go-to guy for Sam Houston this second half. And it's 3rd and goal. Down 2 touchdowns. Sam Houston has 2 plays to punch it in here.
They mark it at the 3. Quickly out over the ball, offensive center Trey Young. 3rd and goal. It's Jackson. It's 6.
We got ourselves a ball game, John.
Josh Jackson from 3 yards out.
.6:18 to go. And Sam Houston able to answer Arlington's drive with a drive of their own.
And they'll go the conventional PAT, Angel Estrada, and hold everything, have a player shaken up. Here comes a crew. It appears to be one of the offensive linemen.
Actually, John, I saw number 20 for Arlington. Troy Gaston is on his rear right on the goal line. Training staff will tend to him, and we'll take a short break here. Sam Houston an extra point away from a 1-possession game. We'll be right back.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Gaston's still being tended to on the goal line here, John, but let's talk for a moment about Sam Houston's ability to continue to answer when Arlington delivers what felt like a deciding blow, 3-play drive, and then they come right back down and march it down the field, and it's about to be a 7-point game again late in the 4th.
The score coming 42 seconds after the touchdown pass to William Nelson. So here's a PAT by Estrada. As the offensive line hunkers down in position. It's a high snap. It's a low kick. And
it's no good.
Underneath the crossbar.
That's a big miss because if Sam Houston gets a stop, they now have to go for 2. 24-16 is the official score after that missed extra point, but it's still technically a 1-possession ball game. High school football on ZAP continues from Choctaw Stadium right after this.
Buying a vehicle can be overwhelming. That's why Yadi Pagan at Classic Chevrolet has created a guide to car buying to help ensure you make the right choice. Classic South has a great selection of pre-owned vehicles, and Yadi will put all his energy to make sure you get the best deal possible. Call 817-706-5679, Classic Chevrolet, relax, and enjoy the difference.
Back to Choctaw Stadium alongside John Nelson. I'm Zach Arnold. John, it's been so fun having you on the call. I know we had you for the Weatherford game. We've got you for a couple more games. You've got a long-standing history with Arlington ISD, and people in the chat are noticing it. El Presidente, the username on YouTube, is saying welcome to the broadcast to you, and as do I.
Gracias. Texans have outscored the Colts in this fourth quarter, 9-7.
They need 8 more to tie this thing up, though, after a 10-point swing by Arlington in the third.
Max Sane able to kick off. Dropping way back in retreat mode, Casey Brown.
Now they're playing a little more up.
Yeah. He's going to take the full windup. As Sane hits it, it's a squibber
free ball
and a marker, but Sam was offside.
Another offside call. That formation that they do on special teams has not done them very well. And Arlington, fortunate they were offsides because that was a live ball for a few seconds, and a brief moment of panic as they try the line drive instead of the onside, try to get a deflection off of the up man.
They jumped the gun on that far right side.
Just got a little too excited there.
24-16, 6:17 to go here in the fourth. Colts trying to go to 5-1, but more importantly, 2-1 in the district in a matchup with Bowie next Friday night.
That one will be a pinnacle for us here on the Zap Network. Bowie, the other team that we cover, will be able to consolidate our materials, our resources, our manpower. We're looking at doing something that we have not done here before. So history will be made at UTA's Maverick Stadium next week. Be sure to tune in on YouTube if you cannot make it out to that ball game.
The defending district champions, the Bowie Volunteers. Arlington scrimmages from the Sam Houston 47. Christian Moore over the left side, a quick burst. And Moore, close to 10 at a first down. He's got it, steps off 12.
And again, good vision by Moore, recognizing that there was more room towards the sidelines and bouncing it out instead of trying to plow ahead. Picks up an extra 5 or 6 by that cut.
From the 35. Really no need to put it up, leading by 8. But Cravens is about to, and he is about to be sacked, and a marker dropped. They may have got him on the face mask.
Yep.
I thought they'd be content to stay on the ground, but Cravens was about to throw it. Was sacked, and some grabbing and holding in a face mask.
15 more yards. It'll take it from the 35 all the way down to the 20. Arlington will take that every day of the week.
So what do you do, Zach? You ground and pound? You take off as much time?
You know, that is what I would do if I was Coach Peach, but I also know that this is one of those situations where you feel like you've got a small semblance of control and you want to try different situations, different scenarios. Maybe you're simulating as if you're the team that's down by 8 instead of up by 8, and trying to figure out what you would do in this 6-minute scenario to try to answer.
First
rather
and
than
10
get
from the Sam Houston 20. Cravens swings it out, caught behind the line. It's not a lateral, it's a forward pass, and Moore unable to hang on to it. Well, that stops the clock.
Raymond Cruz was on that ball. If it had been just a yard or more backwards, that would have been another defensive touchdown for Sam Houston.
So Christian Moore stays in. You have 2 receivers to the near side. Flexed way out to the right. The outside receiver is Cannon Cameron, the sophomore.
Already with a couple of acrobatic catches.
Moore. 10, 5, in the end zone. Christian Moore from 20 yards out.
We'll take a look at the instant replay here as Moore takes the handoff to the left side, finds the hole, and shakes a tackle to punch it in for 6 more.
A short 47-yard drive. And Christian Moore into the scoring column.
That only took 5 plays to do, John, capped off by that 20-yard scamper. That is our classic South drive summary. Next time you're ready to drive something new, call Yachty at 817-706-5679. Ling's extra point is good. 5:38 to go in the game. Arlington's in front, 31-16. We'll be back with more high school football on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing after this. PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences, and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org. Back to Choctaw Stadium. Arlington able to answer Sam Houston's drive with a touchdown drive of their own. And Sam Houston just maybe running out of time here, John. They've put up a valiant fight, but the defense hasn't been able to get the stop they've needed.
Try to separate themselves, and the Colts have done it here in the last 4.5 minutes. Trying to widen the gap. Pierce Ling to kick off. Giorgio Harris to the far side, Josh Jackson to the near side. Ling hits it, and it is Giorgio Harris, 15, outside 20. Harris jammed up at the 20.
Not going to get much more than that on this Arlington special teams unit. That is one area that they have been particularly sound this season. I don't believe they've given up anything to midfield or beyond this season so far, John.
They got down in a hurry. The Texans in the second half have started from their own 17, the 25, the 23, and now the 21.
A good wrap up there by A.J. Payne, the junior defensive back. Making the stop on special teams and now back out there on defense.
1st and 10 Texans. Carmelo Stokes and Josh Jackson in the backfield. Here's Stokes looking, is pressured, and still on his feet and is dropped, and loose. Ball is loose. Around the 21.
And it's Arlington ball, says the umpire. Stokes scrambled around with the ball loose. Got hit from behind. It popped out. I thought a Sam Houston lineman was able to get on it, but instead it's a turnover, and it's Arlington ball at the 20.
So Sam Houston, their second turnover here in the half.
Abe Jimenez, the senior defensive lineman, celebrating on the sidelines, coming up with the loose ball.
An exchange of maybe a half a yard. And that's where the Colts have it at the Texan 20.
5:17 to go in the ball game. Arlington looking to pull away here in the second half, much like Bowie did against Sam Houston 2 weeks ago. It feels like a depth situation, John.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. So we'll see what Moore and Cravens have in store in the backfield. Here's what they have in store. Cravens drops back to pass, floats it out, caught at the 15, 10, and close to the 5. A quick out into the hands of number 5, Alex Moore.
Just like that, it's 1st and goal for Arlington.
Ball placed at the 6. It's a gain of 14 on that first down pass. Clock moving, winding down to the 5-minute mark. Taking as much time off of the clock. Here's Cravens, rolls out, he throws. It is a low ball. Was it caught?
Incomplete, says the back judge.
A little bit short to Jackson Nelson.
Skipped in off of the green turf into the green jersey. A little hard to tell who caught it first.
What is a Kelly green or was it a deep dark green? Was it a Michigan State green or a North Texas green?
Speaking of North Texas, they're playing in front of a sellout crowd at Choctaw Stadium tonight. Our best wishes to the other team in green.
From the 6, 2nd and goal. Cravens, he will keep it straight ahead into the promised land.
That may do it, John.
There is your coffin slamming TD as the Colts about to go to 2-1 in district.
Not without a little bit of a scare, though. Tied at 7 going into the break, only up by 10 going into the 4th. Finally able to pull away here in the 4th quarter. Only took 4 plays to get that 20 yards covered, capped off by Cravens' 6-yard touchdown run.
Pierce-Ling, good snap, good hold, and the extra point is perfect.
All 4s on the scoreboard, 4:44 to go in the game.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Classic South drive summary, 4 plays, 20 yards, a 6-yard touchdown run by Coleman Cravens. Next time you're ready to drive something new, contact Yadi Pagan at 817-706-5679. Classic Chevrolet. Relax and enjoy the difference.
21 points for the Colts in a span of less than 5 minutes. So Ling, and as a kicker, you want to be busy, and he has been here in the second half. They're going to switch back deep. They've got Jackson to the far side. And this is he off of the high hops, cooped up at the 6. And Jackson is smothered at the 12.
He did a lot of dancing to try to find a crease, but the Colts special teams unit not giving up very much.
.438 to go. Arlington in this 49th meeting all time will win for the 42nd time. Down through the years, which started in 1967.
Stokes and company with less than 10 on the play clock. They need to get set.
And Stokes will hand it off, and in the backfield first. Nice tackle from behind as the ball went to Ukema.
Marginal pickup there, 2nd down, and the scoreboard says 8.
Yeah.
Looks more like 7 to me, but tomato at this point.
Well, let's see. It's closer to 7. I think you're right. You picked it right off the vine. From the 16. Another running play and drop at the 15 is Harris. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
First man on the scene, Jordan Jobert, senior linebacker. First time we've called his name in this ball game.
Let's see, how many new numbers in the secondary? I see Antarian Sorrell, number 21.
Mendoza's still anchoring the linebacking core, but there may be a few reserves getting some reps here.
3rd and 9. Stokes wants to pass, throws towards the middle, and into triple coverage at the feet of the intended receiver at the 30-yard line. That was Bingham, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 4th down.
So this is a punting situation, and Max Revere is not heading out deep for Arlington. We'll have to check in on Jamar Burton and Max Revere, who have not played this entire second half, John.
Kason Brown back deep and hold everything. Timeout taken here with 3:11 remaining.
We'll take a 30-second break with them and be back with more high school football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
Well, the nail's getting longer and the hammer getting heavier here with 3:11 to go. Sam Houston trailing 38-16. In punt formation, Max Sane. It's a skyscraper. Hits at the Texan 40. Takes
I think
another
a Colt
roll
football player
downfield.
touched it.
May have been touched at the 45. It stayed in bounds. And a crowd at the 43-yard line of Arlington.
A bunch of coaches saying Sam Houston ball, but what do the men in the striped shirts say? This is
And I know the official, one of the guys on the far side had the best look at it as he continued to follow the ball. He may have hit off 2 people.
This is completely their call. High school level does not have instant replay to go back and check this sort of thing. And the ruling is Sam Houston ball.
It was touched. The Texans recover. And they have it at the Arlington, for the moment, the 43. I could place it at the 44.
Well, that's one way to move the ball downfield.
Yeah. Took, 9 seconds off the clock. Exactly 9. So this scrimmage from the Colt 44.
Coach Peach is looking for an explanation on the near sideline. That's what's holding up the resumption of play. All the way out at the hash marks, trying to talk to the umpire and the official.
First teamers back in, Batiste and Cunningham in the secondary. Carmelo Stokes, joined by Josh Jackson. They have it at the 44. There's one timeout left. Jackson up the middle, nice gain, 35. And a gain of 11. Inside of 3 minutes. 2:53, clock moving. 1st and 10, Sam Houston. Josh Jackson, he'll be back next year, a junior. Chauncey Price as well. Stokes looking, gets away, motioning traffic, throws to the far side, and throws it out of bounds. Trying to get it towards Jojo Harris's area. And some late talking. One of the offensive linemen, one of the Colts in discussion. Looked like a Copeland. So that is broken off.
Yeah, you don't want to draw an unsportsmanlike penalty at this stage of the game. Try to put together a good drive, see what you can make of it, see if you can get a successful onside.
Both teams coming off the bye week. On second down, running play over the right side, and a gain of about 3, not much.
That may be the final play before we hit the 2-minute timeout. Sam Houston taking their time getting back to the line of scrimmage.
They face a third and needing about 7, and that'll take us right down exactly to 2 minutes.
120 seconds away from a 2-1 district record. We'll finish it off in just a minute. This is High School Football on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, ICA Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, ICA can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ICASigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's IKASigns.com/shop. ICA Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
About to pick it up here on 3rd and 7. The Texans have it at the Arlington 31. Stokes going for it all down the far side. And not at home at the 5. And brings up 4th down.
Closest player to it was Derman Cunningham, the defensive back for Arlington. Almost went off of his fingertips, if not did go off of his fingertips. And that's the type of play that you run, John, when you know you're going for it on 4th down. You just try your luck, see what you can get out of it, and now you're going to run your 3rd down play on 4th down.
Go for broke and hope for the best. That's what they'll do here on 4th down. They're going to send Tavorian Bell, number 4, wide right, 3 receivers to the near side. Stokes takes a snap. The chase is on. And just runs out of bounds at the 32.
That's the safe play.
Yeah.
Don't try to do too much, especially with the score being what it is. You got to live to fight another week. Sam Houston still has more left to play for. You don't want your leading athlete to get hurt at this point in the game.
No, the receivers are covered like a blanket. I mean, there's nowhere to throw, and just ran out of bounds and turns the ball over with 1:49 to go.
Arlington will likely run it enough to get 1 first down, and then we will head to the postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing to talk about the conclusion of this ball game.
This game was tied 7-7 at the half, and the quarterback is Ethan Alvarez. So Alvarez running the show here. Number 16. Well, they're not set.
When you bring in the reserves, sometimes it takes a little while to get set. They'll take a break to talk about things. We'll take a short break to talk about things and be back with the finale of High School Football on Zap when we return.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0393 or email orders@locallegendsfigures.com.
From the 30, 1st and 10 Colts. Main objective, just don't get anybody hurt. Running play and a gain of about 6. You know what was good to see, Zach, during that timeout was number 73, David Soto, who's been out all year, came out. He's got the boot on and able to join the huddle and the rest of the team. The injury the Colts really didn't need along the offensive line earlier this year. The junior.
I heard from his mom, Andrea, that David is expected to be back at some point this year, so we wish him a speedy recovery so that he can get back to contributing for this team.
Pass is incomplete. Sets up 3rd down with 1:14 to go. Again, next week, the Colts will entertain the Bowie Volunteers at UTA's Maverick Stadium. Then a date with Lamar, also at UTA. Grand Prairie, and then Martin on November the 6th.
Jet sweep, 1st down yardage.
45, close to midfield, crossing midfield. And still on his feet, it takes 3 Texans to bring him down.
Gotta love the effort from the young men that are trying to make the most of their playing time. Looked like that was Robert Jackson on the jet sweep.
Number 80, Robert Jackson, a senior. Stoppage of play here.
Looked like a potential injury for Sam Houston. 66 seconds to go in the ball game.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who came out for Sam, but they're inserting a defensive back. From the Texan 47, near hash mark. Alvarez caught in traffic and a loss of yardage. Bring up 2nd down and about 12. So Coach Pete's clearing the bench. Beckett Smith is a center, number 67. Man in motion, the play goes straight up the middle. And a gain of about 8.
And that should be the final play of the ball game. Arlington may try to rush to the line. Under 10. This will be the final play of the ball game.
3rd and 5, but it's inconsequential here. Barring a penalty, the last play of the game on the defense, and no flags, and that will do it. On the reception, as these two teams will line up at midfield, will separate, have their good wishes, and the Colts indeed go to 2-1 in district, 5-1 overall.
They outscore Sam Houston 31-9 in that second half to pull away from that 7-7 tie. As they exchange pleasantries down on the field, we'll go ahead and bring it into the studio here at Choctaw Stadium. Good evening, everyone. Alongside John Nelson, I'm Zach Arnold. It was a tale of 2 halves, John. A lot of defense, a lot of stalled drives, but Arlington's depth proved the difference, which was something that we talked about at the top of the broadcast.
Yeah, what put it out of reach in that 4th quarter, the 45-yard touchdown pass to William Nelson, followed by the Moore 20-yard run, and the Coleman Cravens 6-yard scamper up the middle, and all that occurred within a 5-minute span in that 4th quarter.
And that's really all you need when you have the type of talent that Arlington does. You know, we didn't see Jamar Burton in the second half. We didn't see Max Revere in the second half, and yet Arlington was still able to get the job done to move to 2-1 in district.
Sam Houston in this second half, their possessions, an interception, a field goal, a Jackson 3-yard run, a fumble, and the ball goes over on downs. I mean, they were playing catch-up. When you play catch-up in that mode, it's just hard to find any kind of rhythm at all.
A total of 232 yards for Sam Houston, 381 for the Colts, says the Dallas Morning News. 200 of those were through the air, 181 were on the ground. Both teams committed 9 penalties. Arlington for 82 yards, Sam Houston to 65. Definitely something that both teams are going to want to clean up down the stretch.
So my math, the Colts gained 240 total yards in the second half. They had 143 at the break.
Correct. Dang, that's some good quick math. Stokes finished 4 of 21 for 125 yards, averaging almost 20 yards per completion, which is pretty much the norm for him. Cravens had 3 touchdown passes, but he also committed 2 more picks, so that is something that he's going to want to try to clean up. Christian Moore led all rushers, 13 carries for 110 yards, averaged 8.5 yards per carry, and got that second half touchdown. Josh Jackson for Sam Houston, 5 carries for 70 yards and a score.
You know, the first 2 touchdowns tonight, Zach, for the Colts, you'd call it a game of deflections. You could call the second half a game of getting back to basics, wearing the defense down, and coming away with points, and did they ever?
They did exactly what they were asked to do. George Harris with a 59-yard catch, Wilborn with a 56-yard catch. Sam Houston's offense scores in bunches. They pass in bunches. Not a whole lot of over-the-middle passing. So when your offense becomes that predictable, it's either a deep pass or a run. Arlington's defense was able to clamp down and force some turnovers.
You're playing into the hands of Arlington's strength, and it showed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different legal receptions. And then Eli Holbrook was also credited with a reception, according to the Dallas Morning News, albeit illegally. But there were several different players, nobody with more than 3 receptions on the night for the Colts. A very evenly distributed game as Burton, Cambron, and Nelson all haul in touchdown grabs for the Colts offense.
Well, those final 24 minutes, I mean, it was packed with long runs. It was packed with in sweeps. Sam Houston jumped up and surprised you with a touchdown and the field goal. A lot of action packed in those final 24 minutes.
Speaking of action, let's take a look at some action from around the area. The scoreboard report presented by Ecus Signs. We mentioned the Thursday scores: 56-43 Bowie over Martin, 41-24 Argyle over Seguin, 61-20 Haltom over Grand Prairie, and 53-0 SGP over Lamar. Timberview and Summit is in the fourth quarter with Summit ahead 39-29, and Duncanville has pulled away from DeSoto in the fourth quarter. It's 48-28, and then over in 7-6A, Lake Highlands pulling away from Jesuit, the score 52-21.
You know, you'd like to save some of these points for the Bowie game next Friday, but I can guarantee you, Zach, this is going to be a short week. This will be an intense 6 days coming up for Arlington High.
It's going to be possibly the biggest game of the year for both squads as they look to establish pecking order in 8-6A, possibly contend for a district championship. After you get past Bowie, every single one of the games Arlington has remaining on their schedule is very winnable. Teams like Lamar have had up and down games, getting shut out by SGP, but then beating Martin. So Martin kind of on a downtick again this year. Grand Prairie is a very winnable game. If you can get over the Bowie hump, Arlington has a chance to compete for the district title.
You mentioned the game Friday night at UTA and a surprise. Is this a technical surprise, or can you tip your hand?
Yeah, I'll tip my hand a little bit because
okay.
I'm proud of what we're going to be doing. As you all know, we cover both Arlington and Bowie high schools. That's something that we recently expanded to. And we've also recently taken on interns that are helping out with the cameras. And we have people like my parents who are very experienced on the production side of things. And so you combine all of those resources into one game, and we are going to be doing, I hope, a 3-camera broadcast for the Arlington versus Bowie game. We will have our top camera like you had for the game tonight. We will have a roaming camera that will get shots of players and fans, and then we'll have a tertiary camera angled at some position in the stadium to provide another in-depth perspective. So it'll be one of the most immersive broadcasts we've ever done, and I would dare say the most comprehensive broadcast that has been done since your days doing telecable.
Well, it's football, but entertainment is your vehicle.
Well, we're all about the fans, and so and all about these players, and so I'm really excited about the opportunity to showcase the talents of both of these squads. We're hoping for a really great game. We're hoping for a really great turnout at UTA, but for anybody that can't make it, this is going to be the pinnacle of ZAP broadcasting happening next Friday night.
I'll be over in Irving. I've got Dallas Jesuit next week, and that's always a playoff contender. You know, we could see these two teams again.
I'll have to check in with you after that game as we get ready. I'm inclined to vote for Christian Moore as the player of the game presented by Trinity Logistics Services. He had a great second half coming in reserve and was able to help pace the offense and got a touchdown that helped put Arlington in the winner's bracket.
Hey, he ran hard, took some hard hits, but kept on churning.
Congratulations to that young man, our Trinity Logistics Services player of the game. A quick fun fact about John Wade before we call it a night. John Sr. played for Arlington High and was their team MVP in '76. He also played for TCU and UTA, earning all conference and conference champion honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in '82 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is only matched by the legacy that his company has built in the Arlington community for 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, soffit repair, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520.
Hey, he coached those Hill Highlanders, and he was a distinguished Colt alum this year.
He's been a distinguished supporter of what we do here at ZAP as well, and we're looking forward to continuing that partnership down the line. John, such a pleasure, as always, having you on the broadcast. Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Oh, it's great. You got to love this time of year.
Oh, I just wish it would cool off a little bit and actually feel like fall. Maybe we'll get that in the weeks to come. But I think that is going to do it for us here at Choctaw Stadium. For Daniel on the camera, for Pops and Patsy doing the production and spotting behind the scenes, and for John Nelson, I'm Zach Arnold. Thanking you for supporting local business and local broadcast by tuning in tonight. Final score again in this one, Arlington 38, Sam Houston 16. We'll see you all next week for Arlington versus Bowie at UTA. Until then, we hope you have a great night and a great weekend. Good night, everyone.